What is going on, everybody? It is episode 653 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. It is a balmy 100 degrees out today, and I am here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, crisis actors. It's Mary. There are still a lot of things on the timeline about the assassination attempt, and we are going to get into Jack Black and his bandmates' comments, obviously. But today, we're trying to bring things back to normal. I don't know if it can
wasn't
work.
Normal?
Yesterday was not as normal as we like to keep it.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. And Sarah is joining us today.
Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry,
It's your
I missed yesterday.
belated birthday.
Yeah.
So everyone in the chat, send happy birthday messages to Sarah.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
How does it feel? Feel good to, like, another year around the sun?
Yeah, well, Mary and I were talking before the show, and I'm like, I felt 85 since I was like 4, so feel pretty much
That
the same.
early, huh? Yeah.
85?
Well, no, the similarities between 4-year-olds and 85-year-olds are notable.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah, you return to a state of dependence.
You're more likely to be immunocompromised.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, maybe not 85. We'll go with 75.
That works. That works. All right. Guys, yeah, so like I said, it's like 100 degrees out today, so the air conditioning is on. I don't think they can hear it. It's not any like louder than normal, but just, you know,
I can feel it.
It's been in the 90s.
It be like that sometimes.
It's been in the 90s like every day for the last 2 weeks, so like climate change. Right.
Is it global warming?
It's global warming. Global warming is such a better term. I like that term so much more. Also, guys, that reminds me. So I'm going to rewatch Day After Tomorrow soon. I never saw Deep Impact, so I'm going to have to watch Deep Impact because Deep Impact, Day After Tomorrow, and Armageddon all kind of came out within a couple of years of each other. I need to see Deep Impact, so I'm going to see if anybody in the chat liked that one.
We have plans tonight.
And
you have to watch The Acolyte tonight, so you can't be watching
Oh.
other stuff today. The Acolyte finale is coming out on Disney Plus tonight, so those are our plans for the evening, and we're going to be reviewing that tomorrow.
So you're telling me that I get to start the week with the garbage episode of The Acolyte, be done with it, and then on Thursday go see Twisters?
Yeah, so
It's going to be a great week.
I'm not as excited for Twisters as you are, but I'm actually excited for you.
Yes, I am unbelievably excited.
You are just bursting at the seams with joy.
I'm hold on, I'm fixing the money guns. Once again, as usual, they're acting up on us as they tend to do.
It's always something, isn't it?
It is literally always something. I'm trying to like camera switch and fix the money guns at the same time. I am very excited for Twisters. Look, Glenn Powell he had an article recently saying that like Hollywood doesn't pay attention to the flyover states. The director had some comments that we're going to get into tomorrow that were like the greatest thing I've ever read. We'll talk about it. But today we are going to get into what happened with Tenacious D. They have canceled their tour that they were on because of Kyle Gass's comments, and statements were made by both Jack Black and Kyle, and they talk about the Jack Black talks about the cancellation of the tour. Apologies are made. Things were walked back.
Yeah, what did he say? Like, he said on stage, like, don't miss Trump next time or something?
Yeah.
Implying that there would be and should be a next time.
So we're gonna get into that.
Guy should be under investigation.
So we're gonna talk about it. Also, Johnny Depp has a new girlfriend, and according to the internet, she is Amber Heard 2.0 in looks. I'm gonna say I disagree. I don't
What
think
about her personality? We don't know.
I don't know
She's
about
a red
her
flag
personality,
yet.
but we're going to talk about that. Also, JFK has a cringy Zoomer grandson.
He's not a Zoomer. I will not be slandered like this. He is a millennial.
Even worse. Okay, so he's my generation.
He's JFK or RFK?
JFK.
He's JFK's grandson.
JFK has a cringy influencer grandson that Gen Z is going crazy for.
Yes.
His
Gen
name
Z
is
girls are thirsting over him like crazy. It
Jack
is harrowing to
Schlossberg.
see.
Schlossberg?
Yes, Schlossberg. He has a different last name because he is the son of their daughter, Caroline. So I had to go through the whole family tree today, and I was looking through Taylor Swift's relationship with RFK's son from back in 2011. It's,
I was in a really good mood after this comment by the director of Twisters that he made about how Hollywood shouldn't be used for propaganda, and I was on high.
Yeah.
I was on high. I was like,
You were
I
in
was
a
on
good
cloud nine, and then Mary just starts reading me these quotes from JFK's grandson, and I got progressively angrier and mad and meaner and worse as it went. So
He was like, we need to have a positive attitude about government.
he said something
Who
about
says that?
He said something about
Positive
good guys
attitude.
in politics, and I nearly.
He's like, I'm
threw
just
the-
trying to spread positivity.
He probably does this.
Yeah.
I don't see the appeal.
Ban him.
No. I don't think
I've
he's...
become authoritarian. Ban him.
I think that on an objective standard, he is attractive, but I don't understand the attraction to his personality. I think women are just attracted to his wealth and his legacy.
Plenty of serial killers have been called attractive too, and you don't think that's a good
Look,
idea.
if a guy calls himself a silly goose, I get the ick.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah. All right.
Run, don't walk.
We're talking now. We got a bunch of other stuff. If you ladies are ready, we can just go ahead and get right into it. Mary, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Sarah.
I'm ready now.
All right, bad news. First of all, sorry to start you guys off on such a bad note. If you are, in fact, a fan of Kevin Costner or his new movie Horizon Chapter 2 has been canceled. It will not be coming out in theaters because Horizon Part 1, the 3-hour Horizon Part 1, bombed at the theaters.
Why would it be that way?
Why not just make it a streaming show? Like, I know that I say a lot, like we talked about how Anyone But You took the risk and went to theaters rather than being a streaming movie, and it benefited from it. But that's like a romantic comedy. It's a small time investment. This is like a 3-hour long movie. Who the hell is going for 3 hours? Dances with Wolves was a lifetime ago.
Is he just a Western guy?
Yeah, he makes
like
a lot-
that's
yeah.
just his whole
That's his thing.
They could probably make a Yellowstone movie.
I mean, he doesn't really own Yellowstone,
might
though. Taylor
do well.
Sheridan does. So.
Yeah, I just thought of that. But it's funny because, you know, his dedication to his career basically cost him his marriage. And now how is that going for him? Not well.
His wife was like, I want you to be home more. And he's like, I'm working.
And I asked
I
you,
pay
like,
for your lifestyle.
I asked you, like, why did they pull this from theaters? And you're like, because no one was going to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
There's
oh.
220s there.
Okay, the first one from That's Danza-tastic says, why did you show us Wish.com Hawk to a girl that was worse than Piss Drinker from a few weeks ago? Oh, I forgot about that and I didn't want to remember. Side note, didn't Tenacious D have a song called Kyle Quit the Band? Is this a prophecy? Pumpkin Spice Cast Brew. Good.
I'm sorry. I'm going to be the bad guy here. I don't remember. What was Piss Drinker?
This guy on Cringe of the Day literally just drank his fermented piss out of a jar. And for some reason, it was separating.
Oh, that memory had been pigeonholed.
Yeah,
in my
I
brain.
didn't want to remember that. I, thankfully locked that away in the vault until you just brought it up. That's fantastic. So thank you for that. Cringe before we even get to cringe. And then a second 20 from Quite Blackpilled. Brett, you got to check out the John Rich Revelations music video. They literally put Jesus and Satan in a Mortal Kombat game minus the health bars. CGI finishers ready for your input. Most Daily Wire thing ever.
I'll have to look at it.
Maybe we'll react to that tomorrow.
The thing is one of my favorite metas, trends on Instagram, for instance, which is the only social media I have at home now, so I have to.
Yeah.
My time has just shifted back over to Instagram. It's so sad. Like
Instagram is less toxic than Twitter.
So it doesn't put me like Instagram leaves me in an incrementally better mood than Twitter does. But it's like they make funny videos out of the finishers from old Mortal Kombat. So there's this one where Nightwolf sends Stryker to the heavens, where it's like a sky beam comes down, and that song "Return to Innocence" comes on and starts playing, and suddenly he's barreling towards the heavens. And I can spend 10 minutes watching that 30-second clip on repeat and have no ill or adverse side effects to my mental psyche. I'm good.
Right.
I spend 20 or 30 minutes on Twitter and I just, I want to run outside and, are you okay?
I
God
just
bless you.
sneezed.
That was
Goodness.
adorable.
Okay. All right. So again, guys, part 1 of Horizon is coming to streaming very soon. Probably best, and part 2 should probably come out on streaming as well. But it's sad that it cost him his marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, not this specifically.
Technically,
but
Yellowstone
but
cost him his marriage, but
Being a
maybe that was
workaholic.
going to happen at some point anyway.
being a workaholic cost him his marriage.
She just wasn't a ride or die.
She was not. All right, so let us move on then, shall we? What did we have next? We had
Amber Rose.
Was
Speaking at
it-
the RNC, it turned out not to be a rumor. She was actually one of the
Did he
speakers.
or no? But 50 Cent was a rumor. That was
That- yeah.
Yes, that's not happening.
So this is confirmed. And Matt Walsh tweeted about this. He said the RNC gives a primetime speaking slot to a pro-abortion feminist and self-proclaimed slut with a face tattoo whose only claim to fame is having sex with rappers. Truly an embarrassment. Not a single voter will be mobilized by this person. All of this in this tweet is opinion except for the last sentence. The last sentence is 100% factual. Not a single voter will be convinced to vote for Trump by Amber Rose. That is not going to happen.
I mean, is there anybody that they're going to bring there that is going to bring in new voters? Like,
Probably not.
no, that's.
But should we listen to a little bit of her speech? It's basically about how she was conditioned to hate
Look,
Trump and then found out that Trump supporters
I
weren't
think
evil.
it can speak to a lot of people. Though.
My issue initially was that, like, all you have to do is say the prearranged words that they always say. I didn't like Trump, and now I did my research and I like him, and they'll let you speak at the Republican National Convention. My point was that, you know, they should set the bar higher as far as the celebrities, but I've changed my mind, okay? If you're going to look to build a new coalition of people, you might have to look outside your box as to who it was that you're going to bring there. Is she going to bring in any votes? I don't know. I don't know who her fan base is, but it's better than just going back to the same well you go to over and over again.
Also,
right?
apparently,
Once in a while?
her face tattoo is / and they're dedicated to her two sons, Sebastian, his nickname is Bash,
and
her other son, who is just named / Electric. Her son's name is / Electric.
Okay.
Alexander Edwards.
Let's listen
Okay.
to a
His
portion.
mom has face tattoos.
My entire family is racially diverse, and I believe the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump.
There's just like an applause sign.
That made him smile.
People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love.
Okay.
Cool.
To Matt Walsh's point, it is fair to point out that Trump is not inherently anti-abortion. He is.
No, he's not.
He is.
Neither is JD Vance.
So
ironically,
the point
since he's
is
Catholic.
like the people who are calling this into question seem to be the ones that want it to be the party of exclusive to Christianity, and that's not something that they can do if they want to win at the election. It's just
okay.
not.
Hosting someone to pray to a false god. What was this? A Sikh or a Hindu?
Yeah.
Somebody, I don't remember her name. That's not going to win you any votes. And in my opinion, Amber Rose is not going to win them any votes. And by the way, no one who is not already a Trump supporter is watching the RNC.
I think you're forgetting how impressionable the average person really is.
You're reaching farther outside the average sphere of influence that you would normally get to with someone like this.
Okay, fine. But there's no way to prove that she's
Right.
changing any minds anyway.
I
That's
honestly,
just
like-
my opinion. I think it's stupid, and especially coming from.
But he
I think
also
it's just they're trying way
Amber
too hard to
Rose.
be
He
cool
also-
and relevant.
He also made the point that JD Vance's views on Trump have changed over the last 8 years, and he didn't extend the same gratitude or the same, you know.
Well, aside from any of our opinions about the RNC, the craziest thing about it is that Trump didn't speak last night. I'm sure they're saving that for later, but it was really weird to just see him walk in there and not say a single word.
It would have made more sense for him to give a speech the first night.
Was he
after what
supposed to?
happened.
Yeah.
No, he probably wasn't. That's the point. He was probably
that's
supposed
the
to
thing. They
speak on
didn't-
the last night.
They seem to not change plans after the assassination attempt, which is weird to me. But
Yeah.
yeah. Some further cringe.
Well, no. So I just want to read this one. So Scott Presser says, Matt, this is completely the wrong take. Amber Rose has even offered to do voter registration events with me here in Philly, where she's from. Her speech was vulnerable and relatable to a lot of folks, especially women. We embrace and welcome.
Give that speech on Instagram
when he was hardcore MAGA.
Who?
Didn't she date Kanye when he was like hardcore going
I don't
like
know.
for?
I don't remember when they were together.
That'd be the better speech. She's like, and then Kanye West changed my mind.
Kanye red pilled me.
I bet he did.
No,
Well, she said her dad
Her
did.
dad is
She's
the one she gives
Well, she
credit
can't stand
to.
up there and say Kanye West red pilled.
Here's the thing. Give your speech on TikTok, give your speech on Instagram, where it would be more likely to reach people who like you, not at the RNC where everyone who's listening to you already agrees with what you're saying.
I think they just wanted a celebrity that was semi quote unquote cool or
She's
relevant.
not relevant.
I don't think
relevant
people
would
in
be
Hollywood are
long.
brave enough or have the balls to go and speak at the RNC.
The
They just
only
won't.
thing that she's
So.
done of note is the slut walk. That's the only thing that she's known
Is
for.
that notable? Is
It's
that of
notable.
note?
It's notable to me at least.
That's
That's all I knew her
do
for.
with
She does
that
not
what
have a
you
good reputation.
Yeah, do that what you
Like,
will, guys. But if they're looking to find votes, they're going to have to find people who would not traditionally speak at these events. That's how you reach new people. We'll have to wait and see if it works for them.
Yeah, I'm curious to see.
Speaking of things that don't work, Mary sent me these pictures. What the hell is this?
Daniel Craig is going through a rebrand, I suppose. He's
That's Daniel Craig.
yeah, he's on the cover of this magazine. I
It's
guess
like Daniel Craig trying to be geeky Glenn Powell.
it's
It's after he switched to soy in his lattes.
it's not it. I don't think that this makes him look cool.
The better like skit here would be like the photographer pitching this to him. He's like, and then
He probably just showed up and they
Whoever
started
dressed
straightening
him-
his
yeah.
hair.
Whoever dressed him like
there's a
hates
20.
him.
There's a 20 there from Nate.
It says, I think Walsh is right here. If someone is open to the influence of someone like Amber Rose, they already have a specific worldview. When Amber says vote Trump, those people just turn on her. Exactly. When someone you like, in the mindset of one of these people, when someone you like becomes a Trump supporter, you just try to cancel them or you
Yeah.
unfollow them, you discredit them.
I think
Okay.
she'll lose a lot of her
But
fan base.
That doesn't
which is-
hurt the RNC. That hurts her. So if
No.
10,000 people turn on her,
Definitely hurts the credibility of the RNC to trot out this woman with face tattoos who's known for the slut walk to come out in support of Trump.
I mean,
it definitely
the
hurts
Republicans
the credibility of the event.
snatch defeat from the jaws of victory all the time. It's not like they couldn't.
Look,
use
he's already
any-
winning anyway. Why do they need this woman to whatever?
It could have been pre-planned, and they could have been the only, like, the bottom of the barrel, the only one who was willing to do it. I doubt she was.
They
their
slashed
first choice.
Kanye from the speaker list and then
See, that's
replaced him
messed
with
up.
Amber Rose.
That's probably what.
That's probably what happened.
Damn.
Well, we'll have to wait and see whether it actually changes any votes.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the this whatever the hell this is.
Yeah. I don't even have any words. I just am tired of seeing magazine covers where they make women look masculine and they make men look like soy boys.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, that's James Bond. How could you do that to
it
James
was
Bond?
James Bond. Have you seen Robert Downey Jr. lately? He's Iron Man isn't looking too. He looks iron deficient.
Well, that's his
He's
vegan
deficient.
diet. Isn't he vegan?
Yeah, he is. Yep.
Yeah, he needs help.
It's just in the hair. The hair just doesn't work.
He just walked in. He had no idea what the plan was, and they just start straightening his hair, and he's like, okay.
Actually, the only thing cringier is if you've ever seen the movie Tomb Raider when he has to do an American accent. He's in that movie, Angelina Jolie does a really bad British accent, and he does a really bad American accent, and I have no idea why they didn't just switch him. But there
I've
you
never
have it.
actually watched that movie.
All right,
worth it?
let's move on. Okay,
Yes.
maybe they could have asked Kim Kardashian to do the Republican National Convention, but she
There you go.
sliced her fingertip.
Well, she did a little collab with Trump back when he was in office. But recently there have been rumors that Kim Kardashian sliced the top of her finger off, and the Cybertruck is to blame. I've seen
I knew it was Elon's fault.
people talking about Cybertrucks injuring people and people getting locked inside them. But this says Kim Kardashian sliced the top of her finger off, and the speculation on Keeping Up is that her Cybertruck's door is what did it. And this came out when she revealed it in March earlier this year. She said that the injury was worse, more painful than childbirth.
Wow.
She didn't explain how it happened.
See, she didn't want to throw
she do
Elon under
natural?
the bus.
The Cybertruck is supposed to like close its trunk automatically, right? But people are saying that it's closing on people's hands and fingers, apparently.
There's a horror movie to be made out of this.
I've seen a lot of Cybertrucks recently. Maybe it's just me, but
I don't think I've seen any.
like the first one I saw was in LA, but I recently saw at least a few when I was on a road trip through Pennsylvania.
Did see that picture of the guy who's like charging his Tesla at a Tesla station, and it says like F Elon on his car.
Yeah. You really owned him with that one when you gave him $60,000 of your own money.
All right. All right, let's move on. So, as we know, when women in Hollywood age, they don't know how to just go quietly into the night. They don't.
The latest example of this is Sharon Stone.
It's kind of like when famous Hollywood women get pregnant and they just start shoving their belly into everyone's faces. When Hollywood women get old, they have to then brag about being old and then show pictures of them wearing less clothes than you ever want to see an old person wearing. Just to show I'm old and you now have to look at this.
Yeah, so you can see here on screen Sharon Stone recreating the iconic scene from Basic Instinct where she has her legs crossed, but this time she's wearing way less clothing than the original.
Exactly. Like, why didn't she wear the original outfit?
Yeah, like even if she wore the original outfit, I would still respect this more, but she's in lingerie here and stilettos. And you know, she's 66. She looks way better than most 66-year-olds out there. But you had strong feelings that this was inappropriate.
I just look. First of all, she's got Xanax and Scotch eyes, and she looks gacked out of her mind. And there's just no like.
Maybe that just happens
who the hell
once you're
did
in
you?
your
She
60s.
just like she set her phone up on a tripod. It doesn't look like a super high quality image. Like, what did she just wake up that day and she's like, I'm gonna assault everyone's eyes with this photo?
Well, at this point, your only options as a woman in Hollywood is to go the Elliot Page route or the Sharon Stone route, for examples. So, you know, you're going to be valued only based off of your appearance for a significant period of your career. And when that time runs out, you need to find a way to cope with it. And usually, like a lot of these women don't end up having an emphasis on family as they're in the middle of the prime of their career, and they cling to their sexuality as something that gives them worth.
How old is she? Did you say 60?
She's 66.
Okay, just
She looks great for a 66-year-old.
then look
but
great.
Keyword for a
with clothes on.
66-year-old. Yeah, she can look great with clothes on too.
Look, the point here is that there's a time and a place for everything. Now, I was trying to think, is it hypocritical, right? Because I remember, speaking of politics, when RFK started just doing like pull-ups at an event and stuff like that. Like, I'm trying to think if it's hypocritical because, like, you know, he's an older dude and they're talking about that. But he's like a politician. And I was like, you just want to make sure your politician isn't going to keel over from a heart attack. Right? But again, not necessary. Not necessary.
Not necessary for him to be shirtless.
Look,
Yeah, I agree.
I can't with this. And it's every few months, it's just some old woman in Hollywood. Like you said, I think it is. It's a lack of connection to family. Now, this is also different because there are a lot of, maybe the cutoff here should be like your mid 50s. Because like Sofia Vergara posted pictures recently from the beach and people were making
J-Lo
making a big deal. Let's put a cap. 55.
Well, I'm looking at the comments right now, and the reason why this happens is because women always celebrate it when it does. One of the comments from a woman says, "You are so true to yourself, no filter, and still such a good-looking woman. Women, let's support each other. Let's do what we feel like without judgment." But there are plenty of boomer dads with sunglasses profile pictures saying that she looks stunning and beautiful, so it was definitely stunning and brave of her.
Yeah, and that's okay. Maybe that's my problem with it. It's not the visual image; it's that I have to celebrate it.
You don't
Right?
have to celebrate it.
My criticism of it will be held up as a problem. Therefore, I'm supposed to celebrate it.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she does have children. Let me look this up.
Somebody says Brett with the ageism.
Are you ageist? You're
And
one
the-
of the ists and the
Look,
phobes.
I have
Yeah,
no
she
in-
has 3 kids.
I have no inherent problem with somebody being older. I have an inherent problem with somebody being older, making people look at them in lingerie and then saying that it was stunning and brave.
See, I stand corrected. This says Sharon Stone has spoken publicly about prioritizing her family over her career, stating that she doesn't regret her choices.
No
in an interview, she
biological
mentioned
kids?
that she lost custody of one of her sons after her role in the film Basic Instinct, citing the brief nudity in the movie as a reason. However, she has since been reunited with her sons and has been open about her gratitude for her family. That's interesting. She lost custody of her adopted son after she was in Basic Instinct because I suppose that cast her in a negative light as an adoptive parent.
I guess.
I don't know. That doesn't seem fair, but
People were more conservative
maybe
back
she
then.
Yeah, they definitely
she could
were.
have just worn the same outfit she wore in the
Brett's
thing.
so upset. I think she looks fantastic. I mean, the lingerie is a little bit much, but at the end of the day,
aside from what Brett is saying,
I don't think she looks like sexy, but she looks good.
I would have a problem with women of any age posting lingerie photos on Instagram because
I'm
I
just
think that that's trashy in general. But I think it definitely is more trashy when a mother of 3 in her 60s does it. There is definitely, more stigma attached to that and should be.
It's too much.
Perfect. Let's let us move on. I noticed no cigarettes. Is the cigarette sending a
where's the
bad
cigarette?
message? Is that
That would be a bad influence.
That's a bridge too far, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let us move on.
Another wardrobe malfunction.
I double checked and saw this video on Instagram elsewhere, so this is apparently okay to show.
This is Maren Morris at a recent concert having a major wardrobe malfunction.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna get copyrighted for the music.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna get in trouble for, not her coochie
That's not
being
like
fully
see-through
visible.
underwear, is
See-through,
it? She
it
hasn't
is.
come out
No, it
and
is.
tried to say
It
Well,
is.
this was clearly intentional. It wasn't a wardrobe
Yes.
malfunction, even though I called it that. Like she's doing this on purpose for clicks, right? Because she abandoned country music and made herself this political activist. And now she has to show her coochie to get anybody to talk about her.
I found it on other YouTube channels, so apparently it's okay. It must have been underwear.
Okay. But still, she wanted people to think that she was naked under there. So we know what she was doing.
See, look at them coalition building with the big American flag there. DNC donor right there, flashing her coochie all over the internet. That's how they win votes, ladies and gentlemen. So what if they have to have Amber Rose at the RNC? Okay, I'm done. All right, time to move on.
So there is a new group of baby modeling mamas in New York City. They're using their children as a side hustle for extra cash. This says, we're the baby model mamas of NYC. We hustle our kidfluencers to get a taste of stardom. That sounds like a great way to ruin your child's life before it even starts. But this is featuring one of the mamas, Kristen Wilkerson, a former America's Next Top Model living in the Upper West Side. She's a mother of 4, and she basically uses her child for extra income. Her 10-month-old daughter, Rosie, is a professional model. She said, we randomly got her into modeling back in March, and she's already landed 8 castings. We absolutely love it, but I wasn't fully prepared for how much her modeling would affect my schedule.
Of course.
Well, how dare
affected.
your daughter affect your schedule when you're booking her modeling appointments? But yeah, the cherubs of Gen Alpha continue stealing the spotlight online. The demand for little VIPs on billboards, commercials, and in social media ads continues to climb. 58% of marketers gave babies featured roles in promotional materials last year, according to findings from Influencer Marketing Hub. But she wasn't the only person featured in this article. This is a growing movement of moms in New York City who are using their kids in this economy, in Bidenomics, to make an extra income in the family.
And there's just more space for advertising in general. I was reading this article earlier about the Minneapolis St. Paul Airport is the first to implement hydro stations. If it sounds like a water fountain, that's exactly what it is. But basically, so it's one of these things that not only does it fill your water bottle, it virtue signals by telling you how many single-use plastic bottles they've saved every time you fill it up. And also it forces you to look at ads for the 16 seconds that it takes to fill up your water bottle. So there's just 9,000 million different places that you can put ads nowadays that people see.
Right. Opportunities abound.
Yeah,
Gas station while you're paying. The little screen.
Yeah,
running
exactly.
ads.
I told you I saw a Sheetz taco ad on a billboard recently, probably because they save their important ads for for advertising in the 21st century, not something from, years past.
Another one of the moms whose baby is signed to a modeling agency in Midtown said, the world of baby modeling is really fast paced. If I haven't already told them that we weren't available on a specific day, they're expecting Rosie to show up as soon as she's hired. I'm a pastor and traveling speaker with 3 older kids, so I usually have a lot of things to move around for Rosie's schedule.
She's gonna
but
crawl
it's a blessing.
She's gonna have to crawl to that audition herself.
Yeah, she's gonna need to call her daughter an Uber.
Yeah.
The agent will pick her up when she gets there. But she said these shoots last around 2 to 4 hours, and Rosie usually earns a flat rate. A small bit of her earnings pay for diapers and food, but we're more invested in making sure Rosie feels happy and confident for as long as she wants to continue modeling. She's 10 months old, by the way.
To do that, you
How
need to
on earth would she
on her own.
express to you whether she wants to do this?
change her diaper and feed her. She'll be fine.
Also, no mention of a college savings account.
That's what I
or
thought she was gonna. That's what I thought she was gonna say.
an IRA. Nothing. There's no mention of this
pretending.
child earning the money herself, although I'm sure there are laws about that.
I wonder if there are any baby model dads.
So you guys talked about the new law that's supposed to protect the kidfluencers from
Chicago,
their stage
yeah.
parents in Chicago. So what did you
Illinois.
learn from that? Is it actually going to make a difference?
Yeah. So I've already forgotten all the details about it already. Time
I think they
passes
proposed
fast.
what, like 30% has to be put away and can't be touched to the kid is 18.
Yeah.
Dude, it should be like 90%.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it just
I believe it was 30 or
incentivizes these stage parents to use their kids' money.
Well, also, I was like, what officially qualifies you as an influencer? Does it mean you get paid for your social media
Yeah.
platform? Does it mean you have to have over a certain follower count? Does that follower account change depending on the platform? Things like that. But again, laws like that especially digitally, things like that very rarely catch up with the real world. Laws are
Yeah.
always behind.
Yeah.
This other mom had her baby in a new ad for the iPhone 15 Pro on a Times Square billboard. I just think it's like the same ethical question of using someone's likeness after their death without their permission almost. It's somebody who cannot give permission that they're okay with this,
Yeah.
and later on they're going to have to deal with the consequences because their face is everywhere.
Should be just using CGI babies.
I don't know.
Honestly, I was going to say we have AI now.
Yeah.
We have CGI AI. We don't need to put children on billboards without their consent or the ability for them to give their consent.
Yeah, but how will these parents pay for the Merlot and
Yeah, and all of their vacations.
and all of their vacations?
I mean,
for the
it
kids?
costs a lot to live in New York City these days. They need an extra provider. One of the moms said, "My whole life, I've always seen beautiful babies on billboards around the city, and I never thought my baby would be one of them. It's wild." So part of it is
She saw the Gerber baby and was jealous instantly. And
yeah. Part of it I understand is every mom thinks that their child is beautiful and should be a model. So I understand why they're going to feel that way, but it just seems exploitative in a sense.
It totally is. It's filling a void for the parent.
Yeah.
Are you one of those people that? How do you feel about the people who try to tell you always have that one friend who's like kids aren't cute, and they have to say that because it's edgy to say so.
Who says that?
It's just something that everybody goes
the child-free movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course every parent is going to think their child is beautiful, as they should. That's only natural.
And then it hurts them when you go to the casting call and the photographer's like, we're not we're not putting that thing on a billboard. No.
Some babies just aren't billboard material.
Yes, that's
okay.
and then she's
it's a dog-eat-dog world out there in the baby modeling industry.
And then she's got to tell that kid later, yeah, we brought you to some auditions when you were a kid, but we never got any calls back.
Another mom said, our kids are going to be able to own any room and present themselves with confidence. We're raising little go-getters.
They're not going to internalize any of this. They're babies.
They probably will internalize it, actually, but not at all in the way that she thinks. It's going to be purely a negative subconscious experience for them. Because I understand why they would think that if they're naive, but have you seen the way that child stars are turning out these days in Hollywood?
A lot goes into that, though. It's not just that aspect.
You're making your child incredibly image conscious from before the point where they're even able to talk or express their desires.
Right.
It seems like it's universally a bad thing.
They become conscious and aware before they can talk. Some kids, every kid develops differently. So they may be conscious and aware of what's going on to an extent, or at the very least know that they don't like it, but they can't actually say it yet. They can't communicate it yet. So they know they are missing out on these auditions. They're going and not getting the role, but they can't communicate that with the parent. That would be my concern.
Freaky it would be if you're like that baby and now you're going through Times Square and you just see like a gigantic version of yourself up on a billboard and it just freaks you out.
Yeah, like babies learn how to recognize themselves in the mirror at a certain age. I don't know if they can recognize themselves on a billboard. That would really mess with someone's ego.
In the chat, Just Here to Ruckus says Brett was the Nirvana baby. He keeps suing because of the cover to Nevermind.
Said it was sexual harassment or something.
And he celebrated the album cover when he was in his early 20s, and then he tried to sue.
Then he recontextualized.
Yes, a therapist helped him recontextualize what happened to him.
The only baby model that turned out well was the one who was the Teletubby son.
Yes, because she has a kid.
Yes. Now her baby is the Teletubby son.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yep. All right.
But yeah.
Okay, well,
just something to keep on your radar.
let's get cringe out of the way. Because it's really bad. A bunch of people sent it to me yesterday. I didn't want to do it today, but Mary insisted that we do it. So here we go. This was from the national anthem at the Home Run Derby last night. And I am going to warn you guys that it gets worse the longer it goes on. So here we go.
Stay strong.
Through the perilous fight, or the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streamed.
He's cracking up.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
This is where I made it to last night before I stopped.
Oh no. Wow. That just got really bad toward the end. Yeah.
If you're wondering.
So I think Fergie did a better job.
Yes.
Because at least she was sober and she was giving it her all in her Fergie style. Like Fergie always sings like that.
So here's the thing. She's going to rehab, ladies and gentlemen.
She
it was
said,
so
I
bad
was
she's
drunk.
going to rehab.
She was drunk during the performance.
No shit.
So now she thinks it's time to get help.
Who is this? I thought it was Lorde.
She's a country she's a country singer, I guess. Not one that I've ever heard of. Her eyes did look very glassy, and the wavy hair wasn't helping. And
It's a cop-out, I think.
No,
I wonder if she knew it was bad in the moment or if she needed to sober up the next day and listen back to it.
I do apologize to everyone who had to watch that with us.
Yeah, big credit to the players who had to keep their cool during the performance and not crack up laughing. Thank you. We got a 20. Hold on.
All the players should get a bonus for not laughing.
Yes, right. They deserve it. Okay, we got a 20 from Skateman 2010. He said, I dare Eminem to go after Kanye, Lil Wayne, or his friend 50 Cent for being pro-Trump. would like to hear him call them a race traitor also.
Well, I mean, isn't 50 Cent, I mean, are they not friends anymore? They've always been friends. He gave 50 Cent his break. So.
Maybe 50 Cent could red pill Eminem.
Actually, that would be a hilarious, see, that's where we're at right now. Instead of Biden and Trump, we should have Eminem and 50 Cent debate at the
They
next
should do a rap battle to decide the election
At the next
for us.
debate.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but he only is willing to say that about Candace Owens, so.
I almost want to make you guys listen to the Lillian Garcia post 9/11 national anthem to cleanse it off you. That's how bad that was.
Yeah. She was doing the thing where they say it's singing in cursive. You know, mispronouncing all of the words on purpose. And then the worst key changes. Key changes in the worst moments.
Oh man, could she hear herself at all? Isn't my question.
Maybe she had her earpiece was malfunctioning.
Yeah, right. And yeah, maybe she had a couple drinks. Maybe she was nervous.
I just don't understand why you would get that drunk knowing you were about to go on. But yeah.
I mean, could she have just backed out? I mean, you're telling me
you can't back out.
It's the home run derby. I'm sure there's some singer there.
She basically backed out at the end there.
Yes.
Maybe they should just call on the audience to do it.
She should have just passed out, faked passing.
At that point, you turn the microphone out to the arena and have everyone finish it for you. How about that?
Okay, there actually is this great clip that was viral from a couple of years ago where I don't remember if it was a minor league baseball game or a college baseball game, but they say we're not playing the national anthem here, and then the crowd sings it.
Yeah, as they should.
Yeah.
I never saw that though.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's what she should have done.
Was it in 2020? That seems like
Probably.
a very 2020
Honestly, I see somebody
moment.
says that I should have played the people. I would rather watch the People's Joker over that any day of the week.
Disagree.
I have a particular disdain. Look, I don't like music cringe. I don't like bad singing cringe because first of all, they're trying, right?
Yeah.
I can give someone.
Because they're so sincere.
It's the same way. I feel the same way about bad comedy, right? When somebody goes, if you have the guts to go up on stage and do stand up, you're putting yourself at the mercy of an audience, and I can respect that. So watching somebody fail spectacularly at that doesn't bring me any joy.
Okay, we got another 20 from That Stanzatastic. There's no way whoever gave them the mic didn't smell all the drinks or see the glazed over eyes, and they just let it keep going. Everyone trying to go viral nowadays.
Okay, so I also saw a great conspiracy that somebody said to me. They said that post what happened with Trump, that the MLB is woke, so they wanted it to crash and burn. I was like,
yeah, no,
I'm like,
I don't think so.
That's a little much.
It's a little conspiratorial,
Far-fetched.
even for us.
I mean, it could be funny. It'd be what if one of the people there just hates one of the players who doesn't like cringe, and the guy's like, here, I'm gonna make my friend laugh while he's on camera. That could be what it is. That was really painful.
So yeah, hearts going out to her while she's in rehab for this.
Alcohol definitely makes it hard for you to sing.
But you
can't control your vocal
That's
cord.
what people do when they
she doesn't
do karaoke.
She
right?
doesn't look sober there to me.
She was just treating this like she was at a karaoke bar at 2 a.m. We got a 20 from CG87343. Leslie Nielsen, a.k.a. Frank Drebin, sang it better in The Naked Gun. That was equally worse than Fergie. That hurt my brain. She was smashed.
But also, what was the one I mentioned? Beyonce performed it at some political event. It might have been an inauguration, and she does the thing where she pulls out the in-ear monitor and she goes and hits this really high note, and they find out later that it was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
And she got really embarrassed by the flourishes that she took. And then when they did a press conference about it, they asked her, and she got up on the spot and sang it, because she couldn't take the dunking.
It was even impressive, although it's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
She's a good singer.
Yes. Just saying.
Never liked the tone of her voice.
Okay, that means that she gets to have her mea culpa will be amazing. She gets to get sober,
she needs
come
a second
back,
chance,
and really hit it.
Yes,
and that would be great. So
it's the second chance is just worse than the first.
I mean, at that point, then it's funny.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one cute of the day. Guys, if you want to, you can... Oh, there's one from yesterday. That is adorable. You can submit hashtag PCC Pets and cute of the day and tag me in it. I will do my best to see it, even though I do not have Twitter at home anymore. All right, this is from Curtis. Did we show this one yet? No, we did
I
not.
don't think so.
Olivia Beauchamp and her best friend. Couch provided for scale.
Is that a chicken?
That's a big dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
bigger than the couch.
All right, let's go ahead and get started then, shall we?
Yes. So yesterday we talked about celebrity reactions to the failed assassination attempt on Trump. And one of them came from one of the members of Tenacious D, Kyle Gass. And he said, a quote, I'm not going to risk us getting banned. He said, don't miss Trump next time, which he should not only be shamed for saying that, he should be investigated for saying that, because he is suggesting that there should be a second attempt on Trump's life. But since then, Jack Black has responded to the situation, and here is his official statement. He said, I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I am grateful to the fans for their support and understanding. So he has now canceled all the further dates on the Spicy Meatball tour.
Look, I don't like the inclusion of the term hate speech in there.
Whatever. He was trying his best.
It's so comical.
And not only that, Kyle Gass put out a statement as well, saying that he regrets what he said. The line I improvised on stage Sunday night in Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. I don't condone violence of any kind in any form against anyone. What happened was a tragedy, and I'm incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment. I profoundly apologize to those I've let down and truly regret any pain I've caused. Now, it's funny that he would say that when all of these anonymous people are saying the same thing, if not worse, and not getting censored for inciting violence online.
It really is.
Right now.
Well, it goes back to Kathy Griffin, right? Like, there is like this line where you get up to the metaphorical line, right? Threat to democracy.
Third Reich.
Threat to America. All of these terms that imply the same thing, but once you cross that metaphorical line, you get to where Kathy Griffin was, and the same thing happened to her. Her career fell apart after she did that photo shoot.
And she did apologize for the stunt, but
Too little, too late.
Yeah, it's too little, too late. She shouldn't have done it in the first place. He shouldn't have said what he said in the first place. And I think that the apology rings hollow when you know full well if he had gotten praise for saying that, he would not have ever made a statement regretting it.
His talent agency dropped him as well.
Oh, really? Interesting. What if this is what like fully ends Tenacious D once and for all? Like, this is how they break up?
Look, I don't like. How do you feel about this? Do you think that Jack Black did the right thing here?
Yeah. Well, you said that you think Jack Black quietly agrees with everything Trump says, and that's why he made the decision to cancel the tour.
No. I think he quietly agrees with everything that
his bandmate said. Oh,
maybe not that part of it, but I'm saying that he just did a fundraiser for Biden. So no, I think that likely what we are experiencing now is the outcome of a world where we look at politics as pro wrestling and everything is experienced digitally, and what you think while you're reading something is very different from what you're supposed to say in public, and what he let slip should never have been said.
It's just also especially gross given that someone died that day.
Exactly.
Right. That's why I can't take the you missed. It's like, so you're saying someone's father and a firefighter being shot by those bullets is missing, like,
who's like protecting his family when he died. It's
this is
absolutely
8
disgusting.
to 10 years of this language being highly normalized, maybe in every way other than explicit
and
calls.
This is all the while celebrities have been telling us that silence is violence, that hatred is violence, and all things but actual violence are violence.
Also,
and meanwhile, physical violence is totally condoned.
Jack Black uses the term hate speech, but the whole point of the definition of free speech is that explicit calls to violence doesn't fall under that criteria. This is one of those examples where there actually is explicit, references to violence. That's very, very different. Now, I saw a lot of other people online saying like they should apologize and go on about their tour, who don't believe that the outcome to this should be for them to be quote unquote canceled. But I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. Like, I would have imagined they would have just gone back on tour. I think if they would have just gone back on tour, I think this would have been forgotten.
Well, all of
in
their
a couple of
fans
months.
in the crowd, if you look at the video, were cheering when he said it.
It
Their
felt
fans
it
don't have a
felt
problem
tepid
with
to
it.
me. It felt like they agreed but didn't want to be seen
Yeah, I
agreeing.
wonder
Yeah.
what their fan base is like.
Yeah.
I
It's-
doubt that their fan base is super liberal and woke. Or I mean, I don't know,
No,
it might be,
it-
but I'm curious. Like, is their fan base more
But
conservative?
also,
or?
it's like comedic music. Like, you're not exactly raising the vibes of the room with shit like that.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what they should have done in that moment is just not address the news that came out that morning, because this was in Australia, and try to give people a good, entertaining night, regardless of what happened.
Exactly. Jack Black does way more good for the party he supports by doing these fundraisers and whatever. Even if we think it's cringy and lame, like, he's gonna find more support by doing stuff like that than stuff like this happening. But also, can you imagine being him in that moment after he said that? Like,
Yeah.
Jack Black's like, bro, what the fuck?
Do you think he instantly regretted it? Because
Yes.
he's probably seen everyone online saying
No, I
he
think-
didn't
drunk.
come up with
I think
it.
Jack Black instantly knew that.
Well, yeah,
they were
maybe Jack
that they were
Black.
fucked.
And then, because they were in Australia, a local politician there, Senator Ralph Babbitt, made a statement in response to this. He demanded that Tenacious D be deported for their bad taste joke. He said that Glass's comments were not a joke, and he called on Australia's immigration minister to revoke their visas. Anything less than deportation is an endorsement of the shooting and the attempted assassination of Donald Trump.
Do you think that's true?
I mean, what he said is very clearly an incitement to further violence.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that because they already have such strict hate speech laws in Australia to begin with, that
you've,
this is fully breaking the law over there.
It's you're being a victim of your own of laws of your own making, right?
Yeah,
You're the
exactly.
one
Came
addressing
back
hate
around.
speech, right?
Exactly.
Full circle.
He also, the same guy tweeted out the footage when it happened, saying, "Without free speech, our nation will fall." But they don't have free speech in Australia, and they haven't for a long time. You also brought to my attention what Mark Hamill tweeted
This was
immediately after
this
Trump's
was-
appearance at the RNC last night.
This was my favorite of all of it. He's this is first appearance of ludicrously oversized ear bandage, apparently not needed the prior night. So yeah, Trump was golfing the day before and he didn't have one on. It reminded guys, what was it? Was it Scary Movie where the sheriff is wearing like the sheriff's hat and it's got the brim, and with every cut it gets bigger and bigger until it's like out the side of the car. So Trump should wear a bigger bandage tomorrow
Every single
and
time.
a bigger bandage the day after, and then by the final day it should be a "Make America Great Again" bandage on the side of his ear.
I was thinking he should have just like shown everyone his wound,
Yeah.
you know, like, I don't know. It seems like
I
that
also-
would have been a cool moment.
My favorite thing that they keep talking about, they think it's like an own, where they're like, it was actually a piece of the monitor that cut his ear, as if that somehow makes it like less.
Yeah, less deadly.
Yes.
Yeah, no. But the responses to Mark Hamill were absolutely hilarious. One person said, "You ever get shot, Mark? Shut the F up." Another one said, "It's so depressing how lame Luke Skywalker is in real life." Another one said,
Oh, they're saying the golfing story was fake. That he wasn't golfing the day after?
I don't know. I just saw the video, so I don't know when it was from.
So
Another
he
one
wasn't
said,
golfing the day after? See,
You
this
would
is-
have shit yourself and cried in the fetal position, needing Secret Service to carry you out and coddle you with a milk bottle. You wouldn't know about oversized anything, as the mushroom and marbles in your pants are your only reference, said one Trump supporter. Another one said Mark Hamill is a weak little man filled with hate and anger. And it's all true, folks.
So yeah, he was not golfing the day after the incident.
And of
This
course,
is why I hate the internet.
the usual
Yeah, I had a
comments asking
feeling
him about
like
his
that wasn't true,
granddaughter that he wanted to be aborted.
Yes.
He's like one of the worst Trump derangement syndrome celebrities of all time.
He was not, the video was not from yesterday, so he was not
Okay.
golfing. I mean, it would have been a pretty Chad move to be out golfing the day after.
Yeah, it would have been. Still would have liked to hear him speak last night.
You
but
know what's sad is that this isn't like a 9/11 where our country could come together.
Nope.
No.
The internet
'cause we
made
very
that
well
impossible.
could. Yeah, I mean, regardless of who is attempting to be assassinated, like as a country, the fact that someone so powerful, who was our leader at one point, whether you liked it or not, was almost killed.
Yeah. Also, somebody posted a picture of Evander Holyfield after Tyson bit his ear and said the Netflix adaptation.
Wasn't there? Who was that artist that like ripped his ear off? That Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I can't. And I don't know how I feel about the Jack Black thing. A lot of people are saying, look, this is his friend of 30 years. He should have stuck by his side. The guy said one stupid thing and he's throwing his friend under the bus because it's going to
Throwing his friend under
down.
the
it's
bus.
gonna stop his ability
like
to make
also
money.
not all up to Jack Black.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
they have managers and they employ hundreds of people, and his friend threw himself under the bus. Like, I don't know. He probably wasn't sober when he said it, but drunk words are sober thoughts. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
In vino veritas, it's probably what he was thinking, and he would have never taken it back or apologized if he were universally celebrated for it. I think the same thing about Kathy Griffin. If she never got criticism for her stunt, she would have, taken full credit for it and never apologized.
So why is it that, first of all, we talk about a lot of like no-name people or like sock accounts that were saying stuff like this, but after the Supreme Court ruling, it was like a week ago, people were making jokes about this, about doing this to Trump because it would give Biden presidential immunity. Okay, like why are none of them being held to the same standards? Just because they're not entertainers and they don't have talent agencies?
Like literally yesterday we showed this video of Madonna saying that she was thinking an awful lot about blowing up the White House. That was last year that she said that because of Roe v. Wade, I assume. But no, these people aren't going to be held accountable. They're not going to have the FBI raiding their homes.
Nope.
It's not going to happen.
All right, let's go to Super Chats then.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Happy Taco Tuesday, Brett and Mary. Mary, did you hear the news that Brett Cooper is discerning entering the Catholic faith? Let's go, Pax." I did not hear about that. That's really cool. I'm going to have to look into that later. Nate said, "Happy birthday."
Thank
to
you.
Sarah. Shane H. Wilder, "Damn it, Brett. You didn't put Sarah in the show notes. Sorry, Sarah, and hi. For your punishment, Brett, watch The Acolyte."
I have to do that anyway.
Yeah, I think I tried to tell you that Sarah needs to be in the description, but then it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It's fine,
Sarah.
guys. You're trying to erase me from history.
The Manic Mustache said, "Deep Impact, Armageddon, don't waste your time." What?
He's saying Armageddon is better than Deep Impact.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, you're going to change it on the spot? Yay.
Thank
Justice for
you.
Sarah, especially on her belated birthday. She deserves to be
on
in the description. Happy belated birthday.
Thanks, guys.
So if you refresh the page,
Now I feel really
You'll see it.
loved.
And there's a lot of exclamation
And you
points
spelled
there.
my name right.
Yep,
Professor Dolt said, "Dances with patience."
basically. Let's hold off on the rest and let's come back after
All
the fact.
right.
You're gonna have to tell everybody what's going on with Johnny Depp.
We're now 2 years out from the defamation trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And now Johnny Depp is wading back into the dating world. And he's recently been seen with a new rumored girlfriend of his. And a lot of people are saying that she's a big red flag, primarily because they think she looks like Amber Heard. They think that Johnny Depp is going for Amber Heard 2.0. And at first, people didn't know who she was, but her identity has now been confirmed. She's a 28-year-old Russian beautician and model named Yulia Vlasova. This is 2 years after the defamation trial. He's finally ready to open his heart back up to a woman again, and they're worried that it's going to be another situation with a younger, crazy chick with BPD who ruins his life. And I think that is not unlikely. He doesn't have a great track record.
Some guys just like
Some guys just like crazy chicks.
Yeah.
Sometimes
You know what it is?
you gotta just let him do what he wants to do.
I think what it is he found the edge, right? He's like, I've made it all the way to the woman who craps in your bed. Now I have to stay just to the right, just to the inside of that box.
Yeah. Maybe now he knows exactly the right amount of crazy that he should be
He's
looking
like
for.
The hot to crazy ratio.
He's like-
The hot to crazy ratio.
yeah,
he's
he's
reached the
mastered it.
perfect medium.
He's like, she'll throw things at me, but she won't crap in my bed. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Colonel Kurtz, friend of the show, tweeted about this. She said, "Y'all will be mad at me if you want, but Johnny Depp's new girlfriend seems like a frying pan to the fire situation. It's not a good sign that she looks like Amber Heard either. I could also bring up the old fool's adage, but that's most men in Hollywood these days.
What? A fool and his money, or
I don't even know what adage she's talking about. But if you look at pictures of her, can you pull up the paparazzi photos that they put in these articles? I looked closer at her. I don't think she looks like Amber Heard.
I don't
actually.
either.
In
It's
fact,
a
I think
reach.
it's a downgrade, to be honest. At first, everyone thought that she was 24, which would make her younger than Johnny Depp's daughter, Lily Rose Depp. That is not true. She's 28.
There's Amber.
Yes. I mean, come on. Amber Heard is prettier
Yeah.
than the new girl, but
I mean, Amber's got like the deadest eyes.
she was
I've ever
higher
seen.
on the hot scale and the
And
crazy scale.
Look,
Sometimes you got to make compromises.
These are the eyes of a woman who knows she's going to be throwing a cup at you later.
Yeah. There were some photos of them that were extremely telling if you do the green line analysis. But you know,
She's look at those. She even wears the glasses that he likes. Right? She's perfect for him.
she's hanging out with him while he's on tour. But what do you guys think of the age gap? He's 61. People thought she was 24. She's actually 28, as far as I can tell. Is that
I'm sure they
kind
have
of weird
He's older than her parents.
to anyone? He is older than her parents?
Yeah,
For sure.
It says her mom's 60, and her dad is 57.
This is just what's going to happen, right? Like Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
is doing it, and what's the other one that we recently talked about? Tobey Maguire
Tobey
is also
Maguire.
dating a younger woman. 28 is like old in Leonardo DiCaprio's book.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, man.
Johnny Depp is definitely playing it safe.
Like what
here.
they
Dating
need
an
to
older
do,
woman.
they need to do a skit where Leo's like, wow, you're into grannies. Like, dang.
I think that he's just like relaxing at this point. Like he's.
I mean, if he was relaxing, he would find somebody who has less potential to be on the hot, crazy scale.
No,
and-
like when you have a high-powered career, you can't afford to have a crazy chick ruin your personal life. Now he's in a new movie about a gibberish-speaking puffin. That's his next film that's coming up.
Yes.
He said he invented a language to voice the title character in Johnny Puff Secret Mission, playing in theaters this weekend. Look, he's in the twilight of his career and his life in general. He's going to settle down with a chick who's moderately hot and crazy. And that's just his type. I said this the whole time. People got mad at me for saying this, actually. I said that, probably Amber Heard being crazy is, what attracted him to her in the first place. And if someone tells you who they are and you ignore the red flags,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he deserved to get physically abused or anything, but he knew what he was getting into, essentially.
He made the value judgment that was what he wanted.
You can't be Captain Save-A-Ho for every person that enters willingly into a toxic relationship.
Look at his
Sergeant
dating
Save-A-Ho.
history.
Sergeant Save-A-Ho.
I
Both
mean,
of them.
beyond Amber Heard, look at his dating history. Winona Ryder.
At least
Who else does he
at least she would just steal stuff off your bedside table.
It seems like the most sane woman he dated was the woman he had kids with.
Everyone thought
Never
that
hear
he was
about
going to
her.
be dating Camille Vasquez. That never happened.
She's already married.
Yeah, well, I mean, she probably had her chance
Yeah.
to pounce on that
Didn't
opportunity.
you see the way he got her phone cord for her?
Didn't you see the way that he pulled out her chair in the courtroom?
The way he held the chair.
They had something special.
Somebody should make a video like that
who we
for
should
Alec
date.
Baldwin and his lawyer.
The thing is, she was hot, but she wasn't crazy enough for
Yep.
Johnny Depp.
Yep,
Yes.
she had her shit together too much.
He's like,
Yeah.
you've got a career. You're a serious person.
You're married.
I'm not.
You're too stable for me.
He's like, the married part is
That's
kinda
actually
cool.
exciting.
He's like, the married part it gets me going, but the rest of it,
No, the craziest theory is that he was still hooking up with Amber Heard throughout the entire defamation trial.
See, that's what they should
Oh my
make. That
gosh,
should be
I
the alt history version of this. Would be like the Lifetime movie where they're like hooking up in like the back in like the judge's chambers.
Yeah.
How do we react as a society if they get back together?
Well, I mean,
5
all the
years from now,
goodwill
they
that
get married.
all the goodwill that Johnny Depp brought back to.
I think that the tension in the courtroom really could have rekindled some of their love.
Yeah.
And everyone knows, like, Fairfax, Virginia, they say that Paris is the city of love. Fairfax, it has
for
nothing
lovers.
on Fairfax, Virginia.
I heard Ohio is for lovers and Fairfax, Virginia.
Yeah,
Fairfax
exactly.
is for lovers.
Exactly.
That's
And
what
then
it is.
after the trial concluded, people thought that Johnny Depp was dating his French tutor, the redhead chick.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
I guess that didn't work out
what
either.
he could have been working to bring redheads back to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right? He's trying to save the redheads. I mean, the thing is, in all the clips that I ever saw of him, he always seemed so timid and, quiet. So maybe he needs a loud personality to match him.
Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a tortured artist at the end of the day.
He's like, I need somebody to like me in my scarf.
Him and Lana Del Rey should get together.
Me and my scarf.
That's a good idea.
That would be two tortured artists.
Actually,
She
yeah,
seems
that
a little
would be
crazy.
iconic.
Might keep her excited, keep him excited. Just enough, not too much.
Yeah.
No poop in
She's
the
too
bed.
old for him.
Yeah, but
How old
she's
is she?
looking hotter than ever
Yeah.
these days since she got on that Ozempic.
She can be like,
not confirmed.
she
but-
can get him some Ozempic, and they can go on the Ozempic together.
Yeah.
I just, I mean, the thing is, because of what happened, his dating life will be a point of interest for the rest of his life. So everyone that he dates will be under the microscope even more than even the average celebrity girlfriend is.
I just, throughout the trial and after the trial, I never understood why people were like portraying Johnny Depp as this like angel walking the earth. Like he's never done anything wrong. He is this perfect saint who I'm sure never made any mistakes in his relationship. And it's like, no, like they were a couple of Hollywood celebrities in a coke-fueled toxic relationship, which was almost certainly mutually destructive. And he knew what he was getting into with that relationship. Of course, I am not saying that he deserved to get physically abused, but to pretend that he is the perfect victim in that situation is insane, in my opinion. And he's likely going to keep repeating the same patterns that led him into that relationship in the first place, given that after a certain age, you really can't change your habits.
But also,
Yeah.
like, she's like a beautician, so she's not like a front-facing camera person.
that's a good sign.
That's a good sign,
Yeah,
right? Like,
might keep her more in check for a while.
He likes
But I
the
was
fake
analyzing
look.
her photos, and I don't know. She seems like she very much likes attention, and she's gonna
There was a
easily
photo of
assimilate
her on a
to
private
this
jet in there.
lifestyle of being Johnny Depp's girlfriend. So hopefully she can do both and like still have his best interest at heart and not just bleed him dry like Amber Heard kind of did.
yeah,
Not
okay.
monetarily.
One of the
I mean
photos is her on a
emotionally.
private jet. Who knows where she was flying, but it could have been
If
Dubai.
there is a photo of a woman on a private jet, wholesome isn't usually what you're gonna get.
Can you afford the PJ on a beautician license? I don't think so.
So guys, he might just like the crazy, and we just gotta.
You just gotta
We
accept
can't-
that.
yeah,
like
we can't-
He liked it. Come on, like when he was dating Amber Heard, there was clearly a thrill and an
Oh,
appeal to that.
Sorry, Russian
love her through
beautician and model. So she's both.
you missed
so
the
I missed
model part.
So
You know, she was probably getting flown out to Dubai to have questionable things done to her for a certain price tag.
never happens.
Yeah.
What you're talking about. All right, let's go.
In this economy,
In this economy, who can afford that? I guess no one gets Dubai. It's not
in this
Bidenomics.
economy, you need to go to Dubai.
Yes.
Okay. Shane H. Wilder said, bless you. Thank you for your belated bless you. Dylan Young said, longtime listener, first time super chatter. Thank you.
Thank you.
He said, why y'all refusing to even mention House of the Dragon? What's going on with
Because
House of the Dragon?
We didn't because it's here's the funny thing about it right now. So we decided to review The Acolyte. We did not review House of the Dragon season 2 because we did not review House of the Dragon season 1. But for anybody that tells you that people who operate in this sphere don't like stuff or don't like talking about stuff, like there's plenty of YouTubers and channels that are talking about House of the Dragon that really, really like it. And if you're enjoying it, I do recommend checking out a lot of those channels. I know Nerdrotic has really liked it. A lot of the other channels are really, really enjoying it. So go and check it out. But yeah,
We're
haven't
not
talked about it.
intentionally avoiding talking about it. if that's
As
what
I've
you
said a million times, high fantasy just has never been of great interest to me. So, and to be fair, if you wanted us to and you think I'm a bad person for not covering it, I'm being punished by watching The Acolyte. So there you go. Everybody wins.
Greg Duvier said, if the Republicans can get any famous person to join their side, take the win. Who cares about their past? They're on your side now, and their fans will follow. Yeah, I think that the assumption you're making is incorrect, that their fans will follow. I disagree with that. I think that if you're following Amber Rose, you're probably someone who supported her based on her reputation beforehand, and that you haven't ideologically evolved from that.
Well, here's then. Okay, so the point you made was that her being at the
Thank you.
you said that her being at the convention hurts the RNC's credibility.
Not like they had much in the first place.
That was my point. It's more like, okay, like credibility with who? Like but to the contrary, like the idea is like, so if she says her piece in her, I don't know how many subscribers she's got or like followers she's got on Instagram, but she reaches 10 million people and 8 million of them turn their back on her. 10,000 change their mind and the other 5 million are indifferent. So she changed a couple of thousand people's mind. Does it do more damage? Do they lose more people via the RNC because of having her on than she gained them through what she's decided to talk about? Like, it's like a race.
It's impossible.
Do they lose more than they gain?
It's impossible to say.
Yeah.
But I just don't see how that serves Trump in any way. I mean, I think
if the idea is that he's a 90s Democrat and she's doing 90s Democrat things, being promiscuous and whatnot, and Trump is clearly, one of the other problems they have is like, it doesn't matter how moderate Trump is, they portray him as an extremist. So he's like, I will not ban abortion. Like, hey, he's gonna lock you in a cellar and it's gonna be the Handmaid's Tale.
I'm just saying, it doesn't matter how many black celebrities or black politicians they put on a stage to say that this country isn't racist and that Trump isn't racist.
They need to
I don't think that is convincing anyone. It's just making white Republicans feel better about themselves because they want to hear that message.
Then they need to find people that would be outside their typical sphere of influence, the reach that they normally have.
Really, they would benefit from getting someone who's relevant to Gen Z. Like, you know, if for instance, if they got like Logan Paul or like Jake Paul on stage, or you know, someone like that.
I don't know if they're gonna need him at the convention, but Trump's done stuff with. He did the thing with Jake Paul recently, or was that Logan Paul?
Yeah, that was Logan Paul.
Okay,
he
so
did that video with.
That probably helps him more than
like they should. I think they should have gotten him on stage because
I agree.
no one actually thinks Amber Rose is relevant, right?
Yeah,
she's definitely not relevant to Gen Z.
So then do I get Matt? Then do we get like Matt Walsh saying like, "Are you telling me that the guy who went through the suicide forest is the right?" It'll never. Here's the thing. Both sides purity spiral all the time. It's never enough for either side. It's time to make some concessions if you want to build a coalition that can defeat the left, because they gobble up everybody. They take everybody by saying, we're diverse, we're inclusive, you can do whatever you want as long as you follow rigidly on ideological lines. And most people do.
And I think the point was that she defected, because that's what can persuade people more.
Yeah. Again, I was like, I was told that Donald Trump was a racist, and I said it too, and then I did my research.
There were so many people on that stage who said that they even voted for Biden in 2020, and I was like, you're just dumb. Like, you know what? I'm just going to stop talking. Shane H. Wilder said, who dressed Daniel Craig? Helen Keller? Probably. They couldn't hear him protesting. They couldn't hear him saying, like, please stop. I don't want to look like this.
He's like, I'm in my Helen Keller era.
Exactly. Sorenko Productions said, not sure Daniel Craig could play Lara Croft. LOL.
Well, he didn't play Lara Croft. He played Lara Croft. He played her love interest in that movie, though I forget his character's name in that movie. Also, I tried to correct myself. I said Lara, right? But I said Laura the first time. It's Lara, not Laura.
Like Lara Trump.
Yes.
Shane H. Wilder said, baby model mamas, we went too far. Can we turn around and go back?
We cannot.
No? Well,
apologize. Well, let's hold off
on the EMP and let's start fresh.
Let's hold off on the rest and let's come back after the fact. All right, it is time to move on. Time to talk about the annoying grandson of John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, so I would assume, based on our viewership, that you guys are more favorable to someone like RFK in the Kennedy dynasty. But right now, we're going to draw your attention to a member of the Kennedy dynasty that is capturing the hearts of Zoomers everywhere, especially Zoomer girls. Gen Z fans are thirsting over JFK's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, after he was just named Vogue's official political correspondent. That was last week, and they published this whole profile on him. It's titled, Jack Schlossberg is just being himself. And they did a photo shoot with him where he's being really quirky in an office setting and posing for the camera.
There's a picture of him doing correspondent stuff. I'm sure he's
doing correspondent
I'm sure
stuff.
He's giving deep,
You're supposed to take him seriously.
He's got a tie on, my gosh.
Yeah.
He's giving
But-
deep political analysis
See,
right there.
he's in the Kennedy family, but he also has a TikTok account, and he's really quirky, and he's so silly
He
and
lip
relatable.
syncs to songs.
He's not Gen Z himself, by the way. He's 31 years old, so he's a millennial. But this says in the Vogue profile, Jack Schlossberg is unmistakably a Kennedy. With his towering frame, dark hair, and strong jawline, the 31-year-old is the spitting image of his uncle John F. Kennedy Jr. To a younger generation, however, he is more notable as the man behind the series of TikToks filled with colorful characters, playful ditties, and lots of props, including bluey sunglasses. Should we show a couple of his TikToks? So you got the point across. I sent you a couple of these.
Okay, here we go.
He does singing videos.
Yeah, I'm ready. Hit it. Step one.
I'm not getting copyrighted for this shit.
I don't think we will.
Yes, we will.
Hey, we need to talk. He says, sit down. It's just a talk. Smiles politely.
He also did a
This
cover
might
of,
be worse than the national anthem.
he did
I
a
heard
cover of
earlier.
Rihanna's Pas de Replay in another video
Again,
in his bluey sunglasses.
the best
prospect
with
for
his COVID
millennials,
mask.
The best
like
part
dating.
is like when this dude eventually goes into politics, we live in a timeline now where this doesn't
isn't gonna hurt his
disqualify you
legacy.
from public office. People will be like, "How are we supposed to take you seriously?" It won't matter, right?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Everybody get down if you feel me. Put your hands up to the ceiling. Everybody get down if you feel me. Put your hands up to the ceiling. Everybody get down if you feel me. Put your hands up to the ceiling.
The 5 o'clock shadow makes it somehow nefarious to me.
Hey Mr. DJ, somebody read me. Hey Mr. DJ, won't you turn the music up? I want on the dance floor wanting some more. Hey Mr.
Why do you
DJ,
hate
won't
me
you
so
turn the
much?
music up? One by one, even two.
I couldn't
by
respect
two.
a woman wearing
Everybody
those
in the club
glasses.
wanna show you how you do.
Let alone a-
Okay, I can't do
a
it
man.
anymore. We're
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
So clearly, we should take this guy seriously as a political activist. I'm looking at the comments right now. Gen Z women are absolutely beside themselves in lust for this
Well,
man.
I mean, he's a Harvard lawyer.
Yeah.
He's got an
He's a Harvard
environmental
man.
law degree. He cares about climate change.
One person said, I would risk the Kennedy curse for him. Another one said, this man will be my president one day. Another one, he is so national anthem by Lana Del Rey. Another
Honestly-
called him the people's princess.
You know when people said that the videos of AOC dancing and all of the power that she amassed very quickly in office, like that she would be president one day? Honestly, this is probably what we're going to end up with. He's going to probably end up being president one day or vice president. What was it? You
Self-described
said if
silly
he
goose.
you said if he runs with Gavin Newsom
Yeah.
as president on the ticket and he runs as vice president, that they'll win.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
probably right.
by 2028, this man will be at least 34, turning 35. If he runs with Gavin Newsom as the VP candidate, he's winning. They're winning.
Probably.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it in my mind. He said in this interview, I am inspired by my family's legacy of public service. I take that very seriously. Clearly, as we can tell from your TikTok presence, you take it very seriously, continuing your family legacy.
Look, you can be both a serious political commentator and a silly goose at the same time.
He's a Gen Z sex symbol. If that's
Can you-
where we're
is
at
that-
with sex symbols
are you
in this
even
day and
allowed
age,
to?
bad
Are
sign.
you even allowed to be a sex symbol in the year 2024? Is that even allowed? Are men allowed
in
to
a
be?
silly, goofy kind of way.
You just can't be a serious sex
He's a
symbol.
silly sex symbol. He said, I want to contribute in my own way. I have big dreams, but I also know that I'm trying to make a positive impact today. And he went on about how he thinks people have such a negative attitude about politics these days. And he's just trying to shine a light of positivity around the government. He even said, quote, people need to think more positively about government.
That's literally the worst statement I've ever heard in the history of the world ever.
Yeah. They even asked him about his dating life in this interview, of course, because people want to know.
I might actually hate that statement more than a lot of the stuff said about Trump.
In response to the many, many inquiries about his relationship status, he demurs, offering a coy no comment. But he does share certain details of his private life. For instance, he's been taking ballet recently to help rebound from an injury. He's so quirky and he's so secure in his masculinity. He loves Johnny Cash. He loves wearing black because Johnny Cash is one of his idols. But yeah, this is
Johnny
just...
Cash did ballet.
There was one, the worst
What was
quote,
the other quote about good guys?
he said something about how he wants to make a difference so that the good guys can win, which is why you should begrudgingly vote for Biden in this
How old is
election
he?
cycle.
How old is he?
He's 31.
If anybody talking in politics talks about good guys and bad guys, they are mentally a child.
So
And what's worse is not just mentally a child, but evil, because he knows that what he's saying is ridiculous. So it's not naivete. It's just evil.
no, it's totally cynical.
It's evil wrapped up in quirky, silly gooseness.
Yeah.
That's the worst type. Remember yesterday when I said like the worst thing about Bush? It's evil wrapped in folksy aw shucks.
Yes.
This is like the millennial cringe version of that.
I mean, he's part of a blue blood political dynasty. Do we really believe a word that comes out of his mouth?
No, nor should you.
And they asked him about why he appeals to Gen Z. They said, you have a strong resonance among young people, particularly on TikTok. Can you summarize your online presence? He said, it would be for others to describe. I'm just having a good time. I'm a fun, wacky guy. I'm a silly goose. A silly goose who's just trying to get the truth out there. That was the worst thing ever. If a guy calls himself a silly goose, you should be running, not walking away.
He has a personality disorder.
Yes,
Straight up.
100%. He's insane. This is like, I understand why people kind of see the appeal in Hunter Biden, aside from the PDF file allegations. Yeah. Just, memeing him into relevance. But
Look,
I do not understand the appeal of this man.
2 weeks ago, you said that when you and Morgan were talking about Taylor Swift, I was disassociating. I'm trying very, very hard not to disassociate right now. This is why, like, whenever we end up talking, like, why I dislike getting into, like, actual politics, because, I just want to throw my phone through a window and stuff like this. It's evil. Right? It's you say he's an environmental lawyer. He's already hit all the talking points. He's an environmental lawyer. He thinks that climate change is the #1 issue of our time.
He said that, yes.
It's literally every single talking point packaged up into a generically stupid looking TikTok package, and it will work. That's the worst part. It will work, right? It kind of already worked with AOC, right? She had a specific image to sell you. She's dancing, but she also cares about issues that are relevant
She
to
goes
her
on
generation.
Instagram Live
She
and
goes
eats
on
fried chicken
Instagram
while she talks
Live.
about politics.
And it's even worse. Like, somehow that to me is less reprehensible because at least she doesn't come from a dynastic family.
Yeah, there's some truth to that. But there was a fan cam that the Gen Z girls made of Jack Schlossberg that we should show. You have that?
Which one was that? That was the...
It's like 6 seconds long.
Yes. Okay, here we
We
go.
should show that. It's national anthem.
I like that, like, there isn't enough, like, actual material yet to do a long reel.
Yeah.
But they're like, look, I work with what I've got.
One of the responses said, generational wealth and a big nose. What more could you ask for? Another one commented, is there any fan fiction about him? 2,000 likes on that comment, by the way.
It just...
People are looking for erotic fan fiction about JFK's grandson as we speak. This is actually a screenshot someone replied with. Jack Schlossberg fanfic. You and Jack have just moved into the White House and are adjusting to your new life with children.
Yeah.
They're fantasizing about being this man's first lady. But they asked him, why do you think your videos resonate with people online?
Because he's a silly goose.
He said, people can tell when others are being authentic and don't have any agenda. Okay, you have an agenda. Stop.
See, this is what I mean. This is the
so
this
sinister.
is the scariest part.
Yes.
He's lying through his teeth. He understands that he is not authentic, and portraying inauthentic behavior in an authentic fashion is exactly what good politicians do.
It's the definition of sociopath.
There is
Sociopathic.
a photo that he posted on Instagram where he's shirtless and he's holding a dog.
I don't have an agenda, but climate change is the #1 issue of our time.
Yeah, this is just
There is a very big super chat here
Whoa.
from Trudy Jones. Thank you for that.
He's a goofy-pilled, whimsy-maxing, jester-coded goober chad. Just a silly little guy.
That's amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That's kind of what
amazing.
he's going for, and yes, it is working.
Whimsy-
Thank you for the crisis party, by the way.
Whimsy maxing.
He's whimsy maxing, clearly. He said, I try to say things that I think are important. There are things that you can tell are authentic versus not, and people respond to that well with me. I think very deeply and critically about what I want to say, especially when I post my covers of Rihanna songs. This election year is so important to me, and that's why I've been trying to get out there more. This is a really pivotal moment in history, and it's such an exciting time to be alive and to be able to vote.
Let me guess. This is the most important election in our lifetime.
Democracy is on the ballot.
I heard
Okay.
decency is on the ballot and that our democracy is on the line.
He also talked about how our voting rights are being attacked right now, and women's control over their own bodies is being threatened by the Supreme Court, even though they just undid their own decision about women's bodies.
Wait, what was his quote? He says there. Can you read the quote about the Supreme Court again? Again, not trying to make
I
this
have to find
political,
it
guys.
here.
He said and they did it to enhance their own power, which
Here's what
makes
he said.
no sense at all.
They asked him, what issues do you think young people are most passionate about? It goes under the broad banner of civil rights, which are under attack right now in America by the Supreme Court. Roe v. Wade is just one example of a Supreme Court that's actually trying to go back in time and take power back for themselves.
What does that mean?
Completely anti-democratic, and it doesn't stop there. It goes to things like voting rights, which are under attack all across the board. That's the biggest issue, practically, that our country faces right now. That our rights are being taken away by a fringe minority in broad daylight.
How? They never explain how.
There are more
They don't know.
women on the Supreme Court now than there were when it initially went to
He's also talking about the vibes.
Yes.
He said, I want to get that vibe out there because there's a lot of negative energy about politics. And I just want to bring
Good.
some positivity out there because that really matters.
There should be you can have passion for politics. I think there should be memeing of politics. Positivity in politics is a wolf in sheep's clothing that's designed to separate you from your money and get you to vote for things that are against your best interests.
We've got another 20 from Fresh Meat saying, happy birth month, Brett. I can only budget for one $20 super chat a month.
Wow, Brett.
Mary, don't forget to give Brett his birthday thrashing every day this month. Happy birthday to you too, Sarah. By the way, I just got here. Can we start over?
Yeah. So he spent the money to tell you to beat me up. So thank you for that. So I appreciate that. And
Well,
thank
first
you
they
so
gave
much
you
for
my
that.
whole birthday month.
Yeah.
Well, they said the
It's
whole
mine,
month
but
of
not
July
yours.
was
Yes.
yours.
Well, they know that I don't believe in birthday week, so birthday month is just even more narcissistic.
Given the fact that they're trying to astroturf this man's appeal by using this, segment of Gen Z women who want to date him, let's respond to it like he's a Hinge profile and we're going to swipe right or we're going to swipe left. If he is shirtless, holding a dog on his dating profile, this is a man who is clearly, and he calls himself a silly goose in one of the prompts, this is a guy who's clearly trying to appear non-threatening to overcompensate for his sinister intentions. Swipe left. I just swiped left on this man.
Yeah. And this is where politics, I suppose, is going to go, right? It's no longer going to be fought in halls of power. It's going to be there. At one day there will be a whole group of senators and congressmen who grew up on TikTok. It's going to be amazing. I still push back. Look, I understand that old politicians are awful. I've yet to see a great argument most of the time that youth brings any new ideas or great appeal to politics. But then again, I take a negative opinion of just about all of them. So.
I wanted to read a few more comments from people on this
Goose
Vogue
level
profile. One person said, thank you. One person said, I'll be his Marilyn Monroe. Of course.
I mean, it would be like,
Why not his Jackie?
yeah. They don't want. Well,
No, they want to be the other woman.
They want to
wanna
be the
be the
little
other
whore.
woman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah.
Go for
But
it.
one person didn't like that they did a profile on this guy and that Vogue appointed him as a political correspondent. They feel like this is a Nepo baby appointment. They said there are so few jobs for tenured journalists. Why not hire someone with actual expertise? Like you post 2 funny TikToks and you're Vogue's political commentator. This is abysmal.
Okay, never mind. I've changed my mind. He took the job away from a journalist. Okay,
That's good.
cool, awesome.
But yeah, another one said, this is affecting me some type of way. Why am I blushing? Another one said, he's hot and all, but spitting image of JFK Jr. is way too generous.
Yeah, he doesn't really look like JFK.
Another one said, he'll be
Yeah.
35 in 2028. That's all I'm saying. He's going to be the first millennial president. It's very possible. Just
I love how no one has asked about anything he's actually done.
Well, he's
he hasn't
just
done
talking
anything
about
except
his
ride the
look.
coattails of his family
he
name.
got his Harvard law degree. He went to Harvard. He got a law degree. That's what
Yep.
he did.
And he talks about climate change and he sings on TikTok. That's what he does.
Be funny. I mean, it would be way cool. Let's see it again. He could get the Hunter Biden appeal if he was like, "Yeah, climate change is fake," and I really need to find out what happened to my granddad. Like, that's what it really is. He's like, the first thing that happened when I turned 18 was the CIA showed up at my door and said, "Don't you dare ask any questions."
Another one said, I'll be his Jackie right effing now.
Okay.
They really want this guy. They have the hots for him.
He should.
This is just a bad sign for like the sex drives of Gen Z women. Like our birth rates are already bad, but
He'll be a president one day, and then he'll start a company to make movies for Netflix. It'll be called Grassy Knoll Productions. It'll be fantastic. You can do
Yikes.
that. All right, let's. That one ruined it for me today, guys. I can't with this.
that
one.
ruined your mood after the
Yes.
Twisters news.
Let's go to super chats.
Shane H. Wilder said, sorry, Brett, but if I had to hear that dying cat cringe, then so do you. Love you, buddy. No homo.
There was no reason why you needed to. Granted, I showed it to Mary. I felt it was irresponsible to not show her the cringe that was there. But again, I don't like music cringe. I feel bad for the people. They're trying their best. At least she's not a silly goose.
This is why you don't like cringe in general, though, because you feel bad for the people in the videos. I don't.
See,
That's the difference
yeah.
between you and I.
If it makes you feel better, if you're a trained singer, you know that alcohol will affect your voice and you shouldn't drink if you're going to sing.
Yeah. Generally speaking, that's good advice.
okay.
She'll learn that. Hammy said, happy feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, fam. Prayer crew is finishing novena to her. Brace for miracles. Well, we just had one over the weekend, depending on who you ask. Tacty Platty said, Brett, remember cringe William Hung singing?
No, I don't.
She bangs, she bangs.
I don't know.
Oh,
Okay, is that what he's
No.
talking about?
What was that?
That is like an obscure throwback.
Let me see if maybe we can find it.
That Stanzatastic said, Jack Black also has a movie coming out soon, right? He has a role in the Borderlands movie. Is this supposed to be a big movie?
I mean, maybe
Everything
that's-
we've heard about the Borderlands movie is negative so far. But he's also in the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for that.
But we have found the next key.
What's your name?
My name is Ryan.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to see you, buddy.
Let me tell you what I'm gonna sing. I'm
Okay.
singing Ricky Martin She Bangs.
She bangs.
Yes. It's a good song, so it's either I really do well by lighting up the stage,
Right.
or I don't.
The producers, cast, and crew would like to express their gratitude to engineering student William Hung for showing up and shaking his bonbon.
Okay?
His bonbon.
Yes. Talk to me, tell me your name. You blow me off like it's all the same. You lit it fierce and I'm taking away like a bomb. Yeah, baby. She
the dance
She
moves.
bangs. Oh, baby, when she moves, she moves. I go crazy cause she looks like a flower, but she stings like a bee. Like every girl in history. She bangs, she bangs. I'm wasted by the way
Thank
she...
you.
The way he just pauses.
You can't sing, you can't dance, so what do you want me to say?
And you know, I have no professional training of singing.
No.
or dancing, so.
No.
Didn't believe it either.
See, that,
Look, he was
That
an
is mean.
engineering
That is a
student. He's
bit-
probably richer than all of them now.
good.
Prize of the century.
Yes.
You know, society needs a Simon Cowell to like crush dreams.
Thank you.
Actually, yeah. Surinko Productions said the golfing story was fake news, Brett. as we learned.
Yes,
earlier,
as we learned.
Junie sent $5 without a message.
By the way, that was still better than the national anthem.
Junie said, everyone is redeemable. The fact Amber Rose is speaking out publicly is huge and will make some of her female fans rethink their morals.
Again, like the only way to judge this later is to see some exit polling numbers. Like, so, did you go from slut walk to Trump walk? Let's talk about it, huh? Like,
I think if she wants to speak out, that's fine, but I think she should use her own platforms to do so because she's speaking to an echo chamber.
Or maybe
right
this
now.
is just all a ploy to get Kanye back.
but maybe, but maybe the idea is like, sure, maybe a lot of people who aren't Republican don't watch the actual convention, but they see that they brought in someone that wouldn't typically be there to the convention, and that opens them up to look further.
Nothing is going to convince me that it wasn't embarrassing. Like, it's an embarrassing moment for the country. That would have never happened, like, even 20 years ago. That you would trot out some, like, rapper video girl with a face tattoo onto a stage like that and make her into a political figure.
Yeah, but the idea
it
is
would
that
never happen
the
in
Democrats,
days where we lived in serious times, but we live in unserious times, and that's why that happened.
It's why in 2000 the Democrats did rock the vote and the Republicans did redeem the vote, and it from there, kids got along with the idea of rock the vote. So cool Hollywood celebrities were there, and then the right had like Scott Baio. I'm just saying, like, if you're looking to appeal to the kids.
Yeah, but the
Not
kids
sure-
aren't into Amber Rose.
Well, then they
don't
need-
know
then
who
they
she
need
is.
to go- I
They
don't
need to
think-
get Baby Gronk and Livy Dunn at the RNC.
Where the hell is Mr. Beast? Can we ride
Livy
Mr.
Dunn
Beast?
when you need her? Where is Mr. Beast when you need him on the RNC stage? That would actually change some minds. Shane H. Wilder said, a good friend will call you on your ish. Like Simon Cowell.
Yep.
Yeah. Nate said, Brett, I thought most of your takes have been great recently. Hey, do you guys want to argue? Argue about what?
I mean, to be fair, like, that insinuates that my takes aren't always great, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Your takes are always correct, obviously.
I have a lot of takes, and oddly enough, every single one of them has been the right one.
Yeah, you've just been on a roll since birth.
Boom, boom. Like,
Miss once! Please!
you have the wrong opinion one time,
Just miss
and everybody
once.
turns on you.
Okay, Taxi Plotty said Fairfax, Virginia doesn't have a river full of poop. Paris does, apparently.
Okay.
Red Pilled Rant said, don't forget that Johnny Depp also made quotes about assassinating Trump. He mentioned Lincoln as well. I didn't know that.
Did you see that they're like
We should have mentioned him yesterday.
Netflix is making Abraham Lincoln gay in like an upcoming thing.
Seriously?
So I was thinking back to the
Bruh.
quote from Wayne's World where he's like, if she were a president, she'd be Babraham Lincoln. So now she'd be Gabraham Lincoln.
It's Gabraham
It's
Lincoln.
Gabraham
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Omega Red Fan said Johnny Depp should make another And Loathing film co-starring Amber Heard.
Fear and Loathing 2.
Just Fear and Loathing.
Yeah.
They should
With my wife.
They should film a movie together. I
They
think that
should.
would do numbers.
To get back together.
Yeah, not to get back together. They just need to tolerate each other enough to film a movie.
What would it be?
Make it a rom-com.
They could remake, what was that movie, Body Heat, with William Hurt and Kathleen Turner, where she like traps. Yeah.
Did you ever watch their movie together? What was
No.
it called?
No, I didn't.
I don't even
forgot
remember
I
at
don't even
this
remember what it was
point.
called. Like somebody in the chat will know. Brett.
We got a 20
from Brad Pitt.
The real Brad Pitt
That's him.
himself.
Thank you for coming.
Amber Rose is, I guess, not black now or never was. Well, if you ask Eminem, yeah, she's betraying her race. Left-Handed Link Gaming said new PCC shirts Team Dasovic with Let's Go on the back and Mary's Simp Army with Burn in Hell on the back. Thoughts?
Whoa.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, mine.
Mary, I love you, but I don't think I could wear a shirt with Burn in Hell.
Like mine feels more like a rallying cry.
Yeah.
Your feels like eternal damnation. It depends on your vibe, I guess.
Yeah, maybe just if it were up to me, we would do the Anne Frank's hot dogs with "Let's Go" on it.
Yes.
But that would not be allowed
I don't
on
think so.
Teespring. V Wit said, "What's up, party people?" Nothing much.
Well, technically, it is kind of like a party because it was your birthday yesterday, so it's It's a belated party.
Yeah.
And it's your birthday month.
It's my.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Dance break.
This is how you guys stay skinny, huh?
Yeah,
All the dance
all the
breaks, just burning
cardio.
the calories.
So a lot of basically like jazzercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that Catholic gamer guy said the Team Dasovic shirt with semi-homo on the back. Just kind of, just a little homo.
Vaguely homo. Yeah.
Brett Homovic.
Oh.
Shane H. Wilder said, Jack looks pretentious AF. Look, this isn't silly or humorous. It's try hard and a bit gay. Actually, just heard ballet. It's a lot gay. Is it gay for men to do ballet?
I mean,
Would you
if
say
you've done it,
universally, like, you
you're,
shouldn't
like-
do ballet if you're a guy?
What was it in?
Like, if you're
I wouldn't say
Russian,
you shouldn't, but is it low-key kind of gay?
like, if you're Russian, if a Russian guy did ballet, then I would be like, okay, that's
I mean,
fine.
then you
Yeah.
fall in line saying like, is gymnastics gay?
But he's clearly
it's
doing
not.
ballet to
Yeah.
meet BPD hoes.
Yes.
Like, you know, like, we
They're
see
like-
what your game is.
They would be
here.
like the I can't judge them because they'd be like the dudes who are like in incredible shape and can do incredible feats of physicality. So on the sport level or the athletic level, no. Societally, it'll be perceived that way, but I'm guessing they don't care.
Yeah, we need to remove the stigma around men in ballet.
It's like in the
Never hear about that.
They did in the John Wick when they did the Everything Wrong with John Wick movies, and they talk about, I don't remember if it's John Wick 2 or 3, where the women do ballet and the men do something else. They're like, I feel like it's a little bit offensive that only the women do ballet.
How is
all
that
the
offensive?
Russians? Because in the men do wrestling, the women do ballet.
Hmm.
Like what? The men don't do ballet, the women can't do wrestling.
Yeah. It's
Play to
very
your
offensive.
strengths, I guess.
Sorenko Productions said it's the birth control making Gen Z women attracted to this vocal fry soy boy, and he
what it
does
is.
ballet. LMAO gay. Yep, it's true. We're in dire straits right now. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he's not conventionally attractive. Like, of course, but they're more attracted to his weird soy social media
It's like when I-
personality
like, I point
and
out,
like
like-
the fact that he's rich and famous and the fact that he has a family dynasty to back it up.
One of the craziest things that there is, just back to the ballet, there's like the stunt gymnastics where the men basically pick up the women and throw them around. It's like, everyone's like, the dudes are getting like, yeah, they're picking up full-grown women and tossing them in the air and catching them.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, do you really have a point to call them any name?
Yeah. They just wear dumb outfits.
Yeah,
well,
I
also,
think the reason why ballet has an air of like people say it's kind of gay is because it's dancing.
yeah.
Like gymnastics, you're doing kind of the same moves. You're in the tight leotard, but it's not a
Yeah.
dance. And cheerleading, guys in cheerleading throw women up in the air, throw them around, catch them with one hand. So I feel like
That's just crazy.
I don't know, but that's dancing too. So I
Is
don't know
it?
why
I don't
ballet
know.
gets kind of that stigma.
It's like, okay, so then the question is, if you're a straight dude and you make fun of this dude who just picked up a full-grown woman and caught her with one hand, do you want that dude to hit you with a right cross and knock you out, and then you've been knocked out by the dude that you just questioned the masculinity of?
touche.
Maybe
Fair point.
Maybe if you're gonna say it to him, say it over the internet and don't say it in person just in case.
Ballet is impressive too, right?
Yeah.
It requires a lot of strength.
Oh, by the way, there's plenty of like people in nerd spaces that call dudes who play football gay because it's a bunch of men wrestling around in the mud. Is that gay? I wouldn't say so.
Should we put a poll up and ask everyone if they think it's gay for a guy to do ballet?
Is it low key kind of gay?
Do a referendum on this?
I am making the decision. No, it is not
No?
gay. I'm saying there may
You're
be
making the executive
there may be
decision.
an overpopulation of members that are, but that does not mean that the sport itself is.
Okay. Zach Yandel said, "Did you watch The Sound of Hope? I'm really excited to watch it. Positive story. I want positive stories and I want hope." I have not watched Sound of
Look,
Hope yet.
a movie about a heartwarming story about adoption just doesn't.
I mean, it's definitely not a guy movie.
Not my, like I said, like last.
Guys are gonna be more into Sound of Freedom because he's a hero and he's fighting the bad guys and he gets to save the day. Sound of Hope is definitely gonna appeal to women a little more.
Yeah.
But it definitely sounds like a good story that needs to be told.
need to watch Sound of Freedom.
What'd you guys
again.
make of the controversy about Letitia Wright?
I think it was overblown. I think she gave about the most press fair answer that you can, and distancing herself in the most generic of terms.
I mean, what she said was true. You
Yes.
don't know who the distributor distributor for your movie is going to be.
Right. She was
Until you make it to that point in the
I'm
process.
not going to be mad at her for making.
She had no idea.
Again, and like if you're somebody who doesn't want to get involved in talking about politics, and then now you're like the last thing you want is to be forced into this space by association.
The only other political thing she said is that she was like skeptical of the
Vaccines.
COVID vaccine.
Well, yeah, and she got pushback from like people on her, like in the movies. She was like Don Cheadle got mad at her because
Yeah.
she posted some vaguely religious, like a person pushing back on vaccines. And it's like she like deleted her Twitter after that. So it's like, I mean, you don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, I understand where she was coming from. Nate said, I never understood PSYOP. Then you showed me a 31-year-old man wearing bluey glasses, calling himself a silly goose and saying he wants to get the truth out there. It's a definition of a PSYOP. By the way, you should buy our shirt. Everything I don't like is a PSYOP.
What? This shirt right here? Holy crap. That's funny that you mention it. It's right up there on Pop Culture Crisis Teespring. You should go pick one up today. If you think that JFK's grandson is a PSYOP, this is the shirt for you.
Great marketing.
Thank
Thank you for that. V. Witt said, Brett's brain ran away, jumped out the window an hour ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, my brain jumped out the window when Mary started telling me, like giving me quotes from JFK grandson person. I keep wanting to say.
Don't even know what his name is.
Yeah. Stupid Berg or stupid Schlossen something.
Trudy Jones. Oh, already read that one. Pat the Plumber said, I miss the good old days when we talked about a hole in the ozone layer.
I know, right? Those were the good old days.
Didn't they say like hairspray was causing it?
Oh, yeah. I remember we had to turn off the lights to save the polar bears.
The greatest meme
I was
of
taught
all
that in 8th
time.
grade.
It's a picture of like 5 women with just huge hair. It says the ozone layer never stood a chance.
Yeah.
It's true.
Brad Pitt sent. Oh, did we already read
We
that
did
one?
that one.
Oh, okay. I was like, dang, he said
Oh, no, that's
$5 without a message.
That's another one.
Thank
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Wow.
I loved you in Fight Club.
I loved you in Interview with the Vampire.
Meet Joe Black's one of my favorite movies.
Pat the Plumber said, Mighty Soy Summer.
Yeah, it's
It's
So
Jack
maybe-
Schlossberg's
What's-
Soy
Jack-
Boy Summer.
Jack Schlossberg and AOC running together and the world just explodes.
Honestly, in a fight, who do you think would win, him or his grandpa, RFK Jr.?
Oh, RFK Jr.
You think?
Yeah.
I think actually,
Yes.
like his grandfather is more masculine and
Yeah.
stronger than he is.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Plus, he's got Secret Service protection.
He's over
now,
here
so-
weightlifting, and Jack is playing in a ballet studio. He doesn't stand a chance.
Like seriously, somebody needs to make that like ironic meme. It's like liberals, and it's one dude's working out, and the other one's.
Wait, I still haven't put together like what the family tree looks like. I have no idea what his relation is to RFK Jr.
RFK Jr., I believe, would be his great uncle.
And then
No?
his
Oh,
kid
okay.
just leaked a phone call of him with Trump, or his.
Yeah, that was kind of messed up.
Connor?
I heard about that this morning.
Yeah.
Connor Kennedy did?
Yeah.
Yeah, Connor Kennedy is the one that Taylor Swift dated in 2011.
Maybe it wasn't. Okay, don't quote me. I don't know who it was that
I don't know.
that did it, but
Brad Pitt said Bert and Marnie.
that's us.
That's us. Corey Anderson said, I am a serious goose. No silly business here. Thank you. Zach Yandel said, whoa, Mary on the attack. I believe her.
Bobby Kennedy.
On the attack against Jack Schlossberg? It wasn't Connor.
It was Bobby Kennedy
Okay.
did it. So yeah, this was his response after leaking a private phone call. I am a firm believer that these sorts of conversations should be had in public. Here's Trump giving his real opinion to my dad about vaccinating kids. This was the day after the assassination attempt. If I violated some kind of law in posting this, my only wish is to have Dr. Anthony Fauci as my cellmate.
What did he say on the phone call that was so shocking?
I listened to it. I didn't hear anything about vaccines.
I agree with you, man. Something's wrong with that whole system. And, and it's the doctors you find. Remember I said,
Seems
I
like it
wanna
would be
do
really
small
obvious
doses.
that he was
Small
filming
doses.
it.
When you
Yeah, like
see the baby, Bobby,
he's literally like,
He's a boomer. RFK Jr. is a boomer. He probably had no
different
idea.
Vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? It's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway,
I love that Trump is just the same Trump in all settings.
His speech voice is exactly the same as his talking in private voice.
Exactly.
You and I talked about that a long time ago.
Yeah. I would love you to do so. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy.
Okay. So, anyways, he leaked it, and that's bratty and annoying.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I saw only like a short version of that that's also going around the internet where they cut out the vaccine part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the headline? Biden asked why I turned my head.
Yeah.
Biden asked Trump why he turned his head.
Why did you turn your head there?
Well, if he looked at the video of what happened, he would know why.
I think it was more of a why'd you have to?
He also
why did you do that? Why did you ruin my chances?
That is a very common thing that he does in speeches, though. He puts his hands on the podium and he looks like this. He does that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because he went off script. He was like, these teleprompters are so boring. I'm going to go off script. And then he pointed over at this monitor on the other side. That's literally what saved his life.
His Riz literally saved his life.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Okay. Not that Jon Stewart said that kid is the Kmart JFK Jr. Hopefully he doesn't take up piloting. We can only hope. Shane H. Wilder said the fact that William Hung got a record deal and even put out a Christmas album still amazes me.
Yeah.
That happened?
Somebody said that in the chat. Look, viral is viral, man. Viral is viral even back then.
There was a lower threshold to go viral back then, actually.
Yeah.
It happened less often, though.
Yeah.
Like, we were probably better off as a culture when it happened.
People
less
like,
often.
wow, Charlie Bit My Finger got 1 million views.
Yep.
Like, that was a lot back then. Yep. Marissa M. said DEI is literally killing us.
I don't know which one that is in relation to.
The Secret Service, perhaps?
I did love Did you see that one said DEI? It's the Die Another Day picture from James Bond. Says DEI Another Day.
Yeah. She's 007. Rhaegar Targaryen said, I know who Amber Rose is. Who is Livy Dunn? Well, that just means that you're not a Zoomer.
Livy Dunn was a gymnast from LSU.
She is. She's alive.
I thought she was... No, she graduated. She's not there anymore. She's
not doing
LSU.
any... She's not doing gymnastics anymore?
Well, I think she graduated this year or something. I don't know. Wow. She is or was a gymnast at LSU who had a really big NIL deal and went very, very viral and got famous on TikTok because she's conventionally attractive and made all sorts of videos. She's dating a pro baseball player who started is going to start at the All-Star game and stuff like that. And like people were in the crowd, like asking like, what's your favorite thing about this pitcher? And they're like, he's dating Livy Dunn. So he's a major
That's why
league
they
baseball.
like him.
And we covered at one point, she would come out of practice and there would be hordes of college men like just looking to catch a glimpse of Livy Dunn. I even pointed out to Mary, there's a Sam Hunt song where he references Livy Dunn, like not by name, but says for looking up the girl from LSU on Instagram, and this is just a random country singer. So she's very, very relevant to pop culture. Yeah.
I haven't seen much about her as of late, but I recall we talked about her and she said that she was like not able to go to her classes anymore because people would try to find her at her school. It was very creepy.
Well, she was playing a victim for stuff she was posting herself on the internet.
If she's just posting videos of like what she does for a living, is that the same thing as like posting a thirst trap? I don't think it is.
No, that's different.
She couldn't have foreseen what was going to happen.
And she also she has inspired hordes of like the Stan accounts, like 10,000 posts from like Livy fan 23232 and stuff like that. So, that's how you go viral, and she's very, very famous.
Nate said, all right, here it is. I think the West Memphis 3 are guilty.
That's your hottest take?
What's the context? I don't know what this is referring to. Do you?
I do not know.
It sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
The Rumbling said Deep and Heard should remake War of the Roses.
They could do that.
They should do a remake of Gone with the Wind.
They should do Mr.
where
and Mrs. Smith.
he's Rhett and she's Scarlet. I think that would go hard.
I think they should do Mr. and Mrs. Smith like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Do you think, by the way, they're ever going to like do a modern audience remake of Gone with the Wind?
No.
Or is it just too offensive?
Is there any interest in seeing that?
There's no way to now.
Because they would have to condense it down to half the length of the original.
They'd probably break it up into 2.
And then they would have to get rid of any reference to slavery, even though that would be historically accurate. They would just rewrite it so that she's in the Union.
Yeah.
And then they would have to get rid of all of her feminine traits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's inevitable. They're going to remake absolutely everything they can. But I'm not looking forward to when that happens. Porco Rosso Forever said, everyone's gay that doesn't look exactly like Matt Walsh. I guess that means all 3 of us here are gay. Okay. Potatoes for Seamus.
I don't pull off flannel. Sorry.
Potatoes for Seamus said, Brett not wearing a hat is a psyop.
Dude, it's like 100 degrees out. It's too hot to wear a hat anyways.
You're due for a haircut, or
yeah.
Is that what you said last week?
I now like get a haircut. Like I try to get it once a month. As soon as the side starts to grow out unruly, then you just go in and get it cut.
Shane H. Wilder said, look up the sport of wife carrying from Finland. Okay, Finland has given us hobby horsing and wife carrying as official sports leagues.
I'm okay with that.
They're creative. Yeah. I'll give them that. V-Wit said, no, Mary stole his hat and won't give it back. Give Brett his hat back, Mary.
There are no hats.
There's no proof that this happens.
Yes.
This is fake news.
There is no magical ring camera evidence of such a crime.
I don't even wear hats. Brad Pitt said, just put it on my chin. I don't know what that means. The Catholic Gamer guy said, if you have to ask, then it's gay.
I don't know if I...
So ballet is officially gay.
Yeah. Someone
said Brett is defending ballet too hard.
Okay, well, whatever.
You're like a closeted ballet dancer.
I tend to be the type of person that says if a dude or a woman is capable of something that you are not, then probably lay off, right?
If it's a physical
trait, it would be like no, that's a horrible example. I'll get in trouble for saying that on there. The point is like, look, if they're doing something that you cannot do, maybe a little bit of modesty and a little bit of.
I mean, when I was a hot yoga teacher, like there was guys that would come in there, and you could always argue, like people could argue that it's like kind of gay for a guy to do yoga. I do not believe that at all whatsoever. I think everyone can do yoga, but it's like the outfits. Or what make it like questionable.
There are plenty of people that end up doing yoga later because it's good for mobility, right?
My point, I was about to make is that they were like ripped.
Yeah.
Like when you do yoga all the time, like you're shredded.
I'm sure it's good like exercise, but I'm against yoga for spiritual reasons because of the context of these being like worship poses that have been appropriated. So
interesting.
Yeah.
It has like the 8 limbs. It's like a spiritual practice if you take it there, for sure.
Also, what was it? There's I don't remember what show it was where the guy takes yoga just to meet women.
Yeah, I mean, if he's the only guy in the hot yoga class, I think I know what his agenda is.
Like good advice. If you want to know where the single fit ladies are, they're at the yoga studio.
Well, now they're going to Pilates.
Yep, or Pilates.
Bar.
Yeah. Yoga Sculpt. That was my favorite.
Shane H. Wilder said the album was called Hung for the Holidays. Really?
Yes! I'm going to buy that when I get home. I'm not even going to...
I can't get over that being his real name.
I'm not even going to listen to it on YouTube. I'm going to buy it. I want him to make some money off of it.
Oh. No Diggity said, sitting here at Caribou doing some work. Happy belated birthday, Sarah.
Thank you.
I think the point was to mention that it was Caribou.
Yeah, I think so too.
Somebody got very mad.
You were counter-signaling.
Somebody got very mad that you called it off-brand or something.
Well, it is off-brand Starbucks. I'm not saying you shouldn't go there, but you were the one who was counter-signaling it. V-Wit said, Gone with the Wind is too periodic. If they could Song of the South it, they would.
Just get rid of it entirely.
Yeah. Brad Pitt said, Brex, your haircut is so metro. People don't say that anymore. Metrosexual. We need to bring back that term into the
that
lexicon.
and hipster have kind of gone by the wayside. Yeah. As
And
you guys know,
they're calling you Brex now.
as you
You
know,
can't
guys.
be metrosexual anymore. They'll just say that you're gay.
And they'll say there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Not
that-
that there's
No,
anything
actually,
wrong
you're
with that.
pansexual. You didn't
Yeah.
even know that,
Yes.
huh?
And as you guys know, my opinion is that like hipster died when no hipster was willing to wear a MAGA hat. Ironically,
And some of them did. Then they got excommunicated.
in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. Potatoes for Seamus said Mary doesn't wear hats. That's a lie. We have the pic. Oh,
wore
the picture I posted.
You also wore a beanie one day early on in the show.
I did a couple times. Then I realized it wasn't the look.
Beanies are hard to pull off.
But yeah, I posted a picture in the black on black MAGA hat over the weekend.
I just haven't I haven't been wearing hats mainly because one, it just took me forever to find a place here that cuts hair decently.
You had a bad experience.
I had a couple of bad experiences, but then also it's just too damn hot. You don't actually. So here's the thing: if you go skate on a regular basis and you try going outside with a hat and then without a hat, you actually notice a difference. It just keeps the heat locked in your head and ends up making you sweat more. And I post videos all the time of I go outside for 10 minutes and skate, and it's just disgusting. Now over the weekend it was dry and not humid, and it was 99 on Sunday, and I barely sweat at all. But the earlier in the week, it was 94 and humid as fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry. And it was just gross.
It
So it's just-
thunderstormed all of a sudden at one point.
yeah. Yep. There's one more there from Nate. We are very close to a 5th crisis party, guys. Do it for Sarah's birthday.
You really don't know about West Memphis 3? I guess I'm old now. Wildly culturally relevant from 96 to 2013. Guy was literally on the Culture War show.
No, I vaguely remembered the case. It was this. I think they made.
I think I remember him being on Culture War.
Yeah, there was also a Netflix. I believe Netflix did something on this as
Yeah.
well. I remember it from an old Sage Francis lyrics, but never had looked deeply into this case. But yeah, there are 3 men convicted as teenagers in 1994 of the 1993 murders of 3 boys in West Memphis, Arkansas. Damian Eccles was sentenced to death. Jesse Miskelly Jr. to life imprisonment plus 2 20-year sentences. How can you get? Oh, because life is 25 years, so life plus 2 extra 20-year sentences. And Jason Baldwin to life imprisonment. During the trial, the prosecution asserted that the juveniles killed the children as part of a satanic ritual. So it was the Satanic Panic.
Yeah, it was part of the Satanic Panic. But when he went on Culture War, there were a lot of people in the comments, I recall, saying that they shouldn't have had him on because they still believe that he did it.
And
It was Damian Eccles, right?
and he proclaims his innocence. He says he's not. I mean, he's but he already served his time, and he's out now.
I don't recall how it
So-
all
I think
happened.
DNA sequencing became a thing.
And
I
Yeah.
believe that's how they were released.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why.
There was another theory about who was actually guilty, but they don't know.
The Satanic Panic. Thanks, Tipper Gore.
Wait, what? Can you explain that to me?
It was here. We'll look it up. It was the Tipper Gore and rock music. Right?
Obviously, I wasn't alive for
Yeah.
most of this.
There's a couple more there.
Okay. Potatoes for Seamus said Bredicus Rex.
Yes,
That's your new name.
She co-founded the Parents Music Resource Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
To warn parents about Marilyn Manson, I
It's
assume.
all very bad for you. Metal is very, very bad for you. Rock music is very, very
The
bad.
drum beats are satanic. V Wit said, "We caused your bad experiences. You're welcome."
What?
They were behind your bad haircuts, I guess.
That makes perfect sense.
High Voltage 75 said, "Tuning in super late. It's Sarah's birthday. Happy birthday, Coffee Lady. Brett, Mary, sing her happy birthday."
I'm not doing that because Sarah requested we don't. Only because Sarah requested we don't, because I said before the
Because we
show.
respect her.
We said before the show that we wouldn't. Yeah, so the Parents Music Resource Center was an American committee formed in 1985 with the stated goal of increasing parental control over the access of children to music deemed to have violent, drug-related, or sexual themes via labeling albums with the parental advisory sticker. That never prevented me from ever getting an album. I know that for a fact.
Well, it kind of made those albums cooler,
Yes.
Yep.
right?
Yep. The founders were Tipper Gore, wife of Senator and later Vice President Al Gore, Susan Baker, wife of Treasury Secretary James Baker, Pam Hauer, wife of Washington realtor Rain
I love how
Hauer.
all of their descriptions are just wife of.
Yes. They're basically, one of the new themes now is like, it's all of these sequences like, I'm the wife of a billionaire, so I run a business that has a $40,000 net negative loss every month. And there's also videos of dudes like making money so that my wife can run a business that loses 50 grand a month. So
It's her
what they
passion
are.
project.
It's her passion project. They got to open like an authentic bohemian themed bakery that nobody goes to.
Or a boutique.
Yes.
Usually it's that. All right. No Diggity said, Caribou Crisis Party. Happy birthday, Sarah.
Thank you.
Surinko Productions said, happy birthday, Sarah.
Thank you.
With a bunch of emojis. Not That John Stewart said, you said hot yoga and my mind went somewhere outside the realm of PG-13. Sorry. Happy birthday. Cute dress.
Thank you.
Or it sounded like you're saying, I was a hot yoga teacher.
I know. Yeah, that's an ongoing joke.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
No, I just taught regular yoga.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Shane H. Wilder said, how are y'all hotter than Central Texas right now? Thank you.
Heat wave.
The Gnostic Alien says listening to the clean versions of songs is borderline gay.
Potatoes for Seamus said Alfred plea. I guess that's that's what happened with Damien Eccles. Nate said nope, Alfred plea. They admitted guilty. Well, they claimed that their confessions were coerced, right?
So that was
Or they were told to confess, to give a false confession for their later sentencing or something.
Like a plea deal?
Yeah, I didn't end up actually watching that episode, so I don't know all the details. Zach Yandel said, I love you guys. You are always interesting.
Thank you. I'm hearting that one.
That's what we aim for, but usually we end up in the realm of like tolerable. Yeah.
I aim for tolerable.
Yeah. Brad Pitt said, just giving you crap, Brett. I'm a fellow Minnesotan. Been watching for months now, and you remind me of my high school friend that loved skating and playing guitar.
Let's go.
You don't play guitar.
I don't play guitar.
That's the
I don't
one
play
thing.
guitar.
V. Witt said, long live Blonde Brett. They want Blonde Brett back.
So I saw a video over the weekend. You know, your Instagram does remember the embarrassing thing you did on this date however many years ago?
Yes.
And I was clean shaven and I'm like, wow, I look like what a weak chin.
On the IRL appearance where you
No, not that one. That's even worse.
Oh, okay.
No, this was just me. It was like a skating video, and I just have the weakest looking chin. It was so embarrassing. I wonder if I still have that picture.
A serious man said Ramon's song response to Tipper called censor shit.
Awesome.
I wasn't aware of that. It was a different time, wasn't it?
Things were different back then. I'm gonna see if I can.
It was the
find
90s.
Things were.
Karens were allowed to run wild and free. And
no internet back then, or like less common internet meant that all of it was very, very different. Now
they did letter writing campaigns.
Like that's in my opinion, the barrier to entry being higher made everything better.
The barrier to entry for being outraged about something, you mean, was much higher.
Like if you had to actually write something out and put postage on it and then mail it somewhere.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for that. I do.
Yeah.
Let me see if I still have this picture. It was really, really embarrassing. That was the worst night ever.
You're going to put it on screen for us?
Yes, I'm going to share it just because
it was so embarrassing that you want to show it to 800 people who are currently watching?
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, you can't see the chin.
Find
there.
it?
You can't see the chin in that one, so it actually doesn't look as awful. But there's on the side, my face just looks. It's kind of like people were posting the meme of the dude with the flattened face.
The guy who was the look-alike of the shooter.
Yeah.
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 The Last of My Kind sent us a 20. Thank you. He said got offered a free fitness class after an injury. It turned out to be a ballet class for 30-year-old women. 'Twas 30 minutes of poses and stretching to techno, followed by 1 hour of mimosas.
Yeah, but
as a single man, it was pretty awesome.
But the thing is,
awesome.
Once you do, you don't realize how hard it is until you actually have to sit there and do the poses, right? So it's very easy to make fun of something if you're not actually doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it worked out for you. Hope you met some women through that. Shane H. Wilder said, Brett listened to Warrant's ode to Tipper Gore.
Okay.
Oh, we can't on.
We can't on air.
stream.
We can't do that, but I can listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more?
What did you just send to yourself?
I didn't. It didn't show up. The
okay.
internet isn't working right now. Or at least on my phone, it is not.
Yeah, you just sent yourself something about the
Yeah.
Minnesota hydro stations. Why does everything need to
that
have
was
a new name?
That was earlier. Yeah,
it's
was very.
It's a damn water
it's a
fountain.
Water fountain.
Well, you know the British call it a bubbler, right? Something like that. Just like they call crying blubbing.
1776, thank God. But those, it's not like even those hydro stations are new, right? Those things have existed for a long time where it's got like the water fountain and then the thing where you can fill up your water bottle there. That's not new. I've seen those at airports forever. Yeah. The only difference is now it's got a cool name and it's got advertising that it can sell you while telling you to do this, otherwise you're going to kill the environment.
Yeah. The climate change propaganda slowly progressed into just being a death cult over time. Like, I remember when they were just telling you to not keep the faucet on when you were brushing your teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, if you have children, you're a bad person and you're basically killing the planet.
Like, have you ever thought about not doing that?
Have you ever thought about just killing off your legacy?
You know what the best way to like help the planet is? End your family bloodline.
Yeah.
Starting with you.
Yeah.
You know, like, remember when like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry got an official award from climate activists for having 2 children?
Really?
For not having more than 2 children? They got an actual award for that.
That's so depressing.
Christina Lee said, "Don't let them make Gone with the Wind and ruin it. That's President Trump's favorite movie." Did he really say that? I just don't see Trump sitting with his full attention for 4 hours to watch Gone with the Wind, but I guess that's kind of based.
Is that really his favorite movie?
Did he say that? I don't know. Let me look it up. What is Trump's
He should troll and be like, my favorite movie is The Manchurian Candidate.
This says Citizen Kane.
Okay.
It says, based on provided search results, there's a consensus that Trump's favorite movie is Citizen Kane, mentioned in multiple sources. In 2017, Trump has repeatedly identified Citizen Kane as his all-time favorite movie. Yeah.
See right here. Airport hydro stations. That's so annoying.
He also said that he likes Rambo. He has heralded tough guy movies like Rambo, Death Wish, and Harrison Ford's Air Force One.
Of course. You know the first time he got on Air Force One, he's like, get the hell off my plane.
As well as films starring Jon Voight, like Midnight Cowboy and Deliverance. Okay. He also likes Sunset Boulevard. I don't know. Oh, yeah, he did mention Gone with the Wind, as well as The Godfather.
Did he have like a formal list he had to make up for himself so that he could like have it be as eclectic as possible, like when Obama does the music list at the end of the year?
I want to know what
or the
Trump's
music list of the summer
is.
that he does.
Do you remember when he went on Full Send podcast?
Yeah.
And they asked him what he plays when he takes the aux cord. I don't even remember what his answer was. I just thought it was so funny that they asked him that question. What does he listen to?
What music does he listen to?
I don't even know.
Does he listen to music?
I don't know.
What was that one song they were playing in the car with Barron and Melania?
Oh,
Bad Blood by Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, he loves that one. But he likes her music about 25% less than he used to. V. Witt said fencing is surprisingly mostly about footwork.
All about your attack positions.
Shane H. Wilder said the song was just 35 seconds of vulgarity.
Okay. See, the thing is, though,
so not really a song.
Back then, when you were pushing back, granted, I guess Al Gore and Tipper Gore would be Democrats, but back then, you know, if you're pushing back against stodgy, conservative-minded people, that made sense because you were in a Christian majority country, and conservative influences amongst adults was more common. So it actually felt like you were pushing back against something. Now, everybody on the left still thinks that that's what we live in, even though everyone that's got half a brain knows that that's not the world that America lives in anymore. Yeah. So when they try to push back, they're just pushing back against nothing because they're the establishment.
Right.
It makes no sense, and it's why it feels inauthentic.
Man, back when like even Democrats had moral panics and moral crusades that they could go on.
Yeah.
Until their brains all like suddenly came online and got a software update to support gay marriage in 2012. They're like, we just suddenly realized that we don't have a problem with this.
I mean, there was in Hollywood had no problem with it long before then.
Democrat politicians,
politician,
however, different story.
But that's because they were trying to coalition build, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't even care. Mostly they didn't care, but they knew that to get the audience, it's like, didn't Obama at one point, or does he still say that he is
when he was trying to get
right?
elected the first time, he didn't support gay
No, I'm saying, but
marriage.
he's a Catholic, right? So he's like...
Obama?
Yeah, didn't he at one point say he was a Catholic?
No.
No? Okay.
I think he says he's Christian. He doesn't...
Or Christian, I'm sorry,
It would be
Christian.
a much bigger deal if a politician said they're Catholic, because then, that means that people would start asking them more questions about abortion
And he was
birth control.
anti-gay marriage in his first term,
Yeah.
but not in the second term, right? So back then, you're more likely to believe. I'm more likely to buy that these politicians don't actually care. They just say whatever they need to get elected.
Same situation with Jack Schlossberg.
Exactly.
No Diggity said hydro stations, off-brand water fountains. And Not That John Stewart said casual hostage party. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get us to the 6th crisis party before we sign out for the day, that would be fantastic.
We're closer to the 6th now.
Yep.
Maybe we should.
So I guess that
stick
means
around.
the NPR outro is on board for today.
We have another one from Rhaegar Targaryen. I predict they're going to reshoot the assassination plot of Captain America: Brave New World, a movie already plagued with reshoots, given recent events, of course. Also, happy birthday, Sarah.
Thank you.
Do you think they're going to do that?
No.
They got rid of the Sabra character's
Yeah.
Israeli heritage because of October 7th.
Yes.
Don't want to press any buttons.
Will they reshoot? Actually, that's a really interesting. That's honestly a really interesting question. We'll have to keep an eye on that to see if anything. I never agreed with anything like that. I never agreed with TV shows pulling stories or pulling episodes because they're too close to reality. Look, after Columbine, a lot of shows had to like pull episodes because they were, too close to reality. But I don't think that usually these episodes have some type of moral framework or story that they're trying to tell. And I think it actually is an insult to your audience to act like they can't know the difference, or that it's somehow inherently insensitive. Whether they do it a month from now or a year from now, it's still capitalistic art that's going to be made to make a profit. So it's not any less insensitive 6 months later than it would be a month after. And most of the time, those episodes were filmed before any of that happened, which is why it had to be moved in the first place. I remember there was like an episode of the show Numbers that did an episode about train derailments right before a huge train derailment happened. I'm like, what the hell were the odds on that happening? They didn't even move it. They just put like a disclaimer with the people who were in the show before the episode. Like, you probably thought you were pretty safe. Like, school shooting, look, that could happen any day here in America. Train derailments aren't that common. I mean, they were last year, but that was like, remember that? Like last year, there was all sorts of strange
Shane did some coverage on that.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Like, I don't think you should. Maybe you want to add the disclaimer beforehand and say, look, this was filmed beforehand. That's fine. I don't think you should change anything just because something happened in the real world.
Brad Pitt said, I built those stupid signs for the airport water hydration things.
That's amazing.
You did?
I just read that article today.
Or are you just trying to piss off Brett? I don't know.
What does that mean?
That's crazy. Well, no, because he says he's a Minnesotan, and that thing was about the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport.
Yeah.
So
V-Wit said hostage party.
we are getting there. We are very close, and we are almost at that 6th crisis party.
Alvin Crow said Demonatrix. Well, the sequel is coming out, right?
For what?
The Velocipaster.
Oh, gosh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Everyone go watch the Velocipaster.
Some of the things you guys say just so casually.
We just
correct.
We're on a different wavelength here.
We have tonal issues, as we say.
Yeah. No Diggity said, happy hostage birthday party, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yes.
You having fun?
I'm having a great time.
Yes. We are very close to that 6th crisis party. It would be a fantastic birthday present for Sarah.
It would.
Of course. We're totally selfless when we're asking you for another super chat.
All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Thank you. Sarah. thank you and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. You made me feel very special. You would make me feel even more special if you go on X and you follow Cast Brew Coffee. We're at Cast Brew Coffee. And then go ahead and follow us on Instagram after at castbrew_coffee. We have some promos going on. Go check it out. We'll always post it on our X. Thank you.
In the chat, somebody's saying Minnesota. I think they're making fun of the way I talk, which happened earlier when I tried to say hag.
You said Sharon Stone is a hag.
How do you say bag?
I bag. I don't know.
Switches.
I just don't use the word.
You dirty old hag.
Yeah. I say bag.
Yeah, that's weird. You say bag, we say hag.
Sometimes when you're not paying attention, you do the bag accent. Yeah. You guys can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
And there's one more there from High Voltage 75.
Sarah, send me some free coffee for your birthday. Give me your birthday present. Love that.
Thoughts? All right.
No free gifts.
It's kind of like when I say niche or niche and people criticize both.
Or figure.
Yes.
They got a habit of saying figure.
It was just Olivia who gave me crap about that. It's figure. Sorry. Sorry, guys.
Shane H. Wilder said, hey, you have better tonal issues than the cringe. True.
Yeah, that is true. All right, we have reached that 6 crisis party, so we will do the outro, and if it does indeed not happen before I finish, there will be a post-credit crisis party. So guys, if you would like to follow me, I am on Insta. Okay, I'm sorry. So you mentioned I'd hag Max for Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
I didn't say hag maxing. It's hag max.
You know what? Everyone has a type.
All right, guys. Instagram and Twix at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. Again, I want to get you guys to submit your pets for Cute of the Day. Hashtag PCC Pets. Tag me and the show at popculture_show and myself at Brett Dasovic on both of those. Again, we need more pets. This show is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify if you would prefer to listen rather than watch this show. And if you want to follow the show on social media, Twix at popculture_show, Facebook and not TikTok because we were banned at Pop Culture Crisis, and on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys, we will be back with a new episode tomorrow. Stay tuned for the post-credit crisis party. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yeah.